significant damage to these Dragoons.
Yep. So I think, well, basically mine did come out ahead in that, the drop trades. He still managed to keep his drop trades alive, whereas we see Bisu lost his Reaver and his Shuttle. So if Bisu wanted to go for another Reaver job, mine's gonna be way better prepared for it. But Bisu does have a sizable Dragoon army outside his own natural. And he does have the Stargate coming up right now, so it looks like we're gonna see Bisu go for 2-gate Arbiters.
You mean 2 base?
2 base. Well, he only has 2 gateways as well, so.
Yeah, it's interesting. Reaver into 2 base Arb is not quite as common, but given how quickly he lost the Reaver, I'm a little worried if mine were to do some sort of timing that Bisu could have some serious trouble holding that off. Because usually if you do that, you know, Reaver's kind of your defense against a little push, but Bisu's not going to have that option.
Right.
And I'm wondering...
So Bisu's got to take a third. In PvT, it's about constantly taking more bases than your opponent here. And, you know, I feel like even though Heartbreak Ridge has been favored for Protoss players, that third base can be actually troublesome to take.
Right, and we're going to see Mind actually moving on SCV to the top to mine out that mineral patch.
This is not 2 base Arb. This makes more sense. It's the favorite build of Bond, the foreign player, which is 2 base carrier.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to see carriers, ladies and gentlemen. Fleet Beacon just being outproduced for Bisu.
But do you see what Mine's doing? He's actually setting that Wraith out, being proactive, and picking off the obs. So taking out the Observer is not only just removing detection, but it's removing that vision that Bisu needs to constantly be aware of what Mine's going for. So now he's in the dark one more time, and while Mine knows that Bisu's in the dark, he's going to send a drop ship towards the north and go in for another sort of drop play into the main base of Bisu.
Bisu's Obs might see it. Hard to tell, but he's got really good pylons. Okay, Obs definitely sees it, and the Goon's right over it. Will the no, it'll get away.
No. I don't think it sees it. Oh, the pylon should see it. Oh.
Oh man, this is getting tense.
So see,
although I'm getting some stream lag here.
You see Bisu taking his own third right now. And it's pretty risky from Bisu, especially if you go into that carrier. His ground army is going to be very weak until he gets that carrier count up. You see Mind adding 2 more factories into his production. And the 2 carriers are now being produced right now. The question is, does Mind know about this? Has he scanned the base of Bisu at all in the last couple minutes?
Right, and I wouldn't be surprised if he has. I mean, Mind is doing a great job right now of being very visually aware and proactive. Taking his third, he's going to have that command center up there in just a minute, and you're going to be pretty secure. He's got a really nice tank spread. I like his location here, and it's really important. This is one of the things that Flash really popularized, is building a lot of buildings outside of your bases, as far as like buffering for your tank line. So getting turrets, getting supply depots, and making sure you can defend across all of them with just a really nice long line.
And the other most important thing for Mind coming against these carriers is making sure he maintains the high ground. There's a lot of ridges on this map. That's going to be one of the biggest key factors for Mind to be able to push or defend himself against these carriers. Making sure that he attacks the carriers on those the high ground ridges. And most importantly, keep Bisu off that 4th base. You can't let Bisu get to that 4th base for the mineral count.
Yeah, and I would imagine that Bisu's going to try... Would he try and take the mineral only down at the 6 o'clock location, or will he go for that gas at the top left? I mean, the gas is pretty important.
Vulture right on the third base.
If he gets to the real late game, then he's going to be really missing out on having that extra gas. But most maps these days, you generally are in a situation where you have 4 bases, but one of them's a mineral only. Something like Circuit Breaker is another testament to that, and you can still go carriers and pull it off.
Oh, and Bisu is going straight away over with his first 2 carriers he's got out. So the Vultures see him. So if Mind wasn't aware, now Mind knows 100%. And the carriers, it looks like they're just going to go harass the main base. Just 2 of them.
Yeah, and you know what? Once your carriers are revealed, there's no point in trying to hide them back. You might as well go ahead and send them out and do what you can with them, because the element of surprise is gone, and the Terran player is going to know that your gateway army is weak.
Alright, so mine should just actually group up everything and just go for a push to Bisu's 4th right now.
Oh, and we got a 2 Zealot drop with the carrier. But with just 2 carriers, you can't even kill a turret. The repair of Mind is greater than the 2 carriers DPS.
Well, he
Bisu's-
did take out one turret.
Bisu looks like he's trying to use it as a screen for his fourth, and now the Wraith annoying the carriers.
Yeah.
I think that Wraith could actually snipe that shuttle right now. If you wanted to. Looks like he's just going to target fire the carrier instead. I'd rather have him shoot down the shuttle.
You know, this is another another example of how not having that ob is kind of hurting Bisu. You need to make sure you constantly have them available to you. Getting surprised by cloaked wraiths would be a huge issue here, and Bisu doesn't want to run into that.
Right,
we all remember that famous game of Fantasy versus Zhongbi,
oh boy.
where it was late game carriers versus Fantasy, and the cloaked wraith play was the only thing that Fantasy had to keep him in that game.
I'm almost beginning to wonder, especially given how quickly Bisu took his fourth, if he's not showing these carriers to freak mind out and then planning to play mostly ground army PvT. We'll see if there's more, but I'm a little curious by this. Actually, no, he's made more. Never mind. He's got 4.
Yeah, it's just too much investment for him to just play mind games, really. And Mind, though, he hasn't overreacted with too many Goliaths. He's really stuck with like a really solid core army of mixture units. And so I like how he's playing this game so far.
Right, most
He's
importantly,
attacking his own pylon.
I like how Mind is actually using a lot of his supply depots to SimCity his own outside his natural, which is the same way that Flash would used to do. Only because of the fact, wait, that a 5th base coming down for Bisu in the bottom right?
It sure is. Bisu's being very, very aggressive with his expansions. He's actually macroed up a pretty good army. I'm a little surprised he was able to do that. And mine moves up to the ridge, but with the tanks by themselves, that's a little exposed.
There
Especially
was
'cause there's
nothing
of
to back
zealots
those
in Bisu's
tanks.
army.
If Bisu was able to move his zealots forward and engage on those tanks, I don't know if he had the speed upgrade done, though. It looked like his zealots were moving slow, but if he was able to hit those tanks, I think he would have done a really good amount of damage to Mine's army.
Bisu was notably behind, but now he's right there solidly in the game. Now he's in a perfectly reasonable position now.
Right, taking that mineral...
And the vultures need to be running to position, but those tanks are all going to die. So that is going to be like 8 free tanks for Bisu, which is really nice, but Bisu...
Oh, beautiful play. This multi-pronged harassment is actually doing a lot for Bisu. Mine having a lot of trouble focusing on 2 different locations here. And these Goliaths just... There's tons of them, but they don't do quite the DPS that the Zealot Dragoon combo does.
Yeah, but with uphill advantage, it's going to force Bisu back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Bisu needs to pull his carriers back immediately. If he loses the ground army, Bisu basically lost his 4th and his 5th right now. Even his 3rd, possibly.
And Bisu's trying to press this attack. I think he wants to... No, and now he realizes he has to back off.
Yeah, and Bisu's game plan here is probably going to get maybe 3 or 4 High Templars mixed in with his army. Because if he can get a few Storms on top of Clunk Goliaths, then he'll just completely eliminate them. And then the carriers can do all the work that they want.
Yeah, and it's kind of a cool style you can play. Shuttle used to play this a lot, where you continue to make ground army, and it's a mix, but basically your carriers serve to pick off stray Goliaths, but more than anything, they serve to make the Goliaths shoot at the interceptors, and then your ground army just kind of cleans up everything else.
Right.
And it's a really powerful style if you can play it right, because the Goliaths never get to shoot at the ground army, which is really the main source of damage.
It's really frustrating as a Terran player constantly trying to divert the attention of your Goliaths from their ADD attacks towards the interceptors instead of the units that you need to be attacking.
Right.
And if you ever aren't paying attention, it's really easy to get Goliaths that are in front of the army sniped off, or even worse if you get a few of your tanks sniped off and you're not paying attention.
Right.
And
Goliaths are the one unit that have almost as bad AI as Dragoons.
And what's got to be really frustrating here from Mind is the way that Bisu is... His ground army is big enough, more or less, and the distance close enough that his carriers can kind of keep the army at bay on the map, and then he can just come right back and force Mind to have to go defend at the main, so it's making it really hard for Mind to show any presence out on the map. You can see he's trying to do it, but Bisu can so easily cover both the army and the harassment of Mind's main.
Right, and that was huge. Mind just losing his starport inside of his main base right now. He's going to have to rely solely on factories.
That's not good at all.
No, and this constant harassment with the interceptors over the ridge, it's near impossible for Mind to defend here. but he does have a near maxed out army. He's going to go ahead and do this giant push. I don't know if he's putting himself in a really bad position here. He's got to find himself on the right positioning on the ridge for his mech army to do well.
A lot of units coming in here, and if those carriers get in there and, like I said, can occupy the Goliath interceptors, but no, Bisu is going to have to back off.
But the DTs are going crazy here, picking up quite a few Goliaths so
Does he not have a scan? Does he not have a scan? He's not scanning yet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's the scan there.
Well, he actually used an initial scan, got 3 of the DTs, but there was still 1 remaining, and he had to force another scan out of there to kill off the remaining 1. But now the interceptors are going to come in here and clean up.
Alright, and the carrier's coming in as well at the same time. However, you do know that Mind actually has plus 2 1 armor against the... I don't think BC has any upgrades at all. So that's going to see Mind should be trading favorably for now.
And
this is a big reinforcement
right location as a base, so he's got 5 total bases compared to Mind, who's only mining off 3, but really only 2 because that main is just about mined out.
Bisu needs more units. Mind's reinforcement was pretty big.
Right.
He's finally able to bring all those Goliaths down now.
Right. And more importantly, the upgrade advantage that Mind has over Bisu, with a lot of these Goliaths just shred these interceptors apart.
But this is generally that okay moment where it looks really scary for a Protoss player, but because you have that huge economy, the re-macro is really where it's going to kick in. As long as you continue to re-macro efficiently, then you're going to be able to ward off this Terran army.
Alright, I don't think this attack actually might actually work for him, Bisu. Oh, it actually did work.
Bisu cleaned that up really easily. Mind was trying to use his Goliaths and get them to attack just the Zealots, but everything just
GG.
Doesn't have enough.
What a game number 1. I think most people will be not surprised about the results of the first game based on the map. So, in my opinion, the best of 5 series starts on Neo Jade. For you Terran fans who are a little bit worried, I think you can just sit tight and feel confident that mine probably still is in this. He's way too good of a player to be counted out after just that game number 1.
Also, XKCD, your stream is not listed under the live events.
Oh, my bad. I'll do that right now.
Why do they want to kill me?
They want my DNA to build more of me.
My bad.
So guys, that was the first game, and Bisu looking really solid there. I don't think that there was anything particularly bad that Mine did. That was just a really good game of carriers. He planned out that opening very well, and I think that it was just a straight up PvT loss for Mine.
Well, what Mine could have done actually was when you first saw the original 2 carriers come in, he should have been more decisive to start taking the map control immediately. At least just move out with whatever he had at the start. Because if you can block off, or at least get part of the map and block off Bisu from taking that free 5th and 6th, then it would have been a little bit more closer than what it had been.
Well, earlier in the game also we were talking about how Mine spent all this time building supply depots, turrets, and making really good tank natural and 3rd. But then, while the 2 carriers are attacking his main, he decides to move out into a position that, even though it was on a ridge, was not an optimal positioning. So it was very confusing for why he wanted to move out and get in that position. I guess maybe he was trying to plan on taking a 4th base at the 12 o'clock position. But I think he would have been better off just on 3 bases, maxing out, dealing with those 2 carriers by sending Goliaths down to the right, and then pushing across and just doing that 200 mech push.
Right, but you can only defend on 3 bases before that, and the other issue is that Bisu can delay for a long time.
Right. I guess my whole thought process is that it's kind of a do or die moment once you max out on 3 bases as a Terran player, and that your death push should either win you the game or you're going to lose.
Right.
Because that's just the difficulty of Heartbreak Bridge and PvP. And so you just kind of got to choose that moment where you feel like you're powerful enough to overrun your opponent and just push out and go all in.
Alright, my stream is just lagging today. That's not fun.
So XKCD, do you know that Madonna is awesome?
Oh god, did it really do that? Alright, let me fix that.
Because he was running the launcher. That's so funny.
Madonna is awesome.
MCA is such a troll.
Okay. Oh god, did it really do that? Alright, let me fix that.
So, Master, what are your thoughts on that game?
I am really confused. Why? Because Mind was definitely ahead at the start of the game. You know, he took care of Bisu's Wraith, no problem. Got like 8 probe kills. I don't know if Mind like messed up his build order or just totally misread Bisu or what, but somehow Bisu, while going for carriers, was able to put down like 2 expansions, not die. Mind never felt like getting. It's just I'm a little confused why Mind didn't have what he should have had.
You know, what I think is that mine was actually preparing for arbiters, because generally speaking, when you like put all those supply depots, like build all the SimCity, like outside in the middle of the map, that's like generally an anti-arbiter play. And it would have been fine for mine if those arbiters instead of carriers, only because mine could just still play off that 3 base and still take that 4th. But with the carriers, like Bisu forces the issue, and mine was completely caught off guard with that.
Yeah, but even if he was going for anti-arbiter play, the point that Elmaster made about the 2 free expansions is really huge, because Mind, most notably, Mind and Mong are both players that have been really proactive with Vulture harassment. And what in this game was really restricting Mind's ability to harass? This is not a big map. It's not like there's a lot of locations that you need to have your Vultures at. The 3rd and the 4th are right next to each other. And there's actually 2 entrances to the 4th at that 6 o'clock position. So Mine should have had his Vultures there and been more proactive at harassing. And you also could note that the vision for Mine on the map was very little. He did not have mines spread out around the map. And either Bisu did a great job of cleaning up mines very quickly in response to Vultures dropping them, or Mine just didn't get that opportunity to drop down those mines and have that map presence.
Interesting.
Yeah, because, you know, as we were mentioning earlier, when he moved out and got onto that high ground and then lost his entire tank army, there was no support with Vultures or even mines. Generally, you see a Terran player already has mines out there across the map, so that way when you're moving across, you're not laying your initial ones, but you're laying additional mines as you move the Vultures and the tanks.
What I'm thinking is that Mine must have known those carriers. He just skimped out on Vultures completely just to go for the Goliath, because he had a very high Goliath count. And
honestly, thinking about it, I think what KNG Theo is saying is pretty spot on. That more than anything, and it makes sense, that it was largely Mine being sloppy, because, you know, he was trickling a few Goliaths back there to deal with Bisu's 2 or 3 carriers. So those guys were constantly kind of trimming the Goliaths. And then there was also where he moved up on the ridge and he lost, you know, like 6 or 7 tanks for free. So I think you put that all together, and that's probably why Bisu got away with it.
Right. Well,
and probably what Mine should have done is, once Bisu tried to be that aggressive, Mine should have just taken everything, thrown a few turrets, you know, 2 carriers being annoying in the main. Okay, you know, they're going to tickle some stuff, but it's not a big deal. But just go attack the bases and force Bisu to come back and defend. I think that would have been the better way to play it, now that I think about it.
well, the best defense, the good offense.
You know, but when you have the leg up of the early starport and you're sensing carriers, but you've gone into Wraith play, why not go ahead and stick with Wraiths? Why not move that forward and try and pick off the small amount of carriers that was across? When it was 2 or 3 carriers, how awesome would that play have been if he just went Cloaked Wraith, you know, scanned, picked off any observer, and then took care of the carriers?
Well, the issue with that, Bisu would have known that was happening anyway, because he's being so proactive with his carriers outside at Mine's main base. Like, where was Mine going to hide the extra starports then? Natural?
Well, he has already one initial starport. I mean, I don't think it's about needing to hide a starport. If you build the second one, I mean, the Goliath stat integral to buffering the ground army that if you sacrifice building Goliaths for Wraiths and air control, that you would get run over by the Gateway Army.
Wraiths are too paper plane. Yeah, you'll just get run over. You'll have nothing to support your tanks at all.
Yeah, and I guess that's why, unless we see some crazy scenarios, we generally just see Goliaths opted over Wraiths.
Also, if it's Wraiths, it becomes incredibly easy just to build, like, you know, a Dark Archon or get a Storm or whatever. I mean, they're good as a surprise tactic when you suddenly show up with 10 Wraiths, scan, kill 3 obs, and assassinate carriers. But just as an outright continued response, they're pretty difficult to make work.
Right. Well, that's fair enough. I think we can leave it at that. So we're going to be going to game number 2 here, and the discussion, let's move it over to, is game number 2 is Neo Jade. It's a 4-player map, and I think this is the map where a Terran player should definitely take the game. What are you guys' thoughts? Do you think the momentum is going to go for Bisu, or is there a particular opening that Mind should go for on Neo Jade?
Well, Mind has to go for the barracks on the high ground anyway, so I'm wondering if Mind would just go for like a 1 barracks expand, and then Bisu might try to do something cheesy. Because like Bisu knows like he has Heartbreak Ridge as his 5th map, so you could definitely pull off like a proxy gate. This map is probably one of the better maps to do it on. Like just do like a double gate in the middle.
Yeah, that's a good point. Game number 2 is definitely that one when you have the leg up. You can go ahead and kind of choose an odd build and try and catch your opponent off guard. I think a 2-gate could be really strong. Proxy 2-gate.
Yeah, why not? And what if Bisu has to lose? Like he knows that he has Heartbreak Ridge as his map, as a 5th map, so as long as he wins 1 more, then he's good to go.
Oh, it's so dirty, the fact that he just has that final map up his sleeve.
I know, it is.
Right, and I love the fact that in game 1 he actually went for that gas steal. He just wanted to make the life for Terran so difficult.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so game number 2, we're about to experience the countdown here. This is going to be Bisu versus Mind. This is the semifinals of SSL 11. XKCD, L Master, myself, Bisu Dagger are on the microphone, and now we've got the spawn positions. Let's hear XKCD.
All right. In the bottom right, as the yellow Protoss, we're going to have Bisu. You see there, being all intent. And there, I mean, in the bottom left, as the brown Terran, we're going to have Mind.
So you ever notice the guy who runs the command center has no hair? Like, every single one of them. Do you think that's a requirement to shave your head before you can run the command center? Or do they just lose their hair due to the stress of the job?
Like in the military, if you're like a grunt.
In the military, you gotta have short hair, and they just made it more strict now in the future.
So do any units, Terran units, have hair?
Well,
Probably medics.
Well, Jim Raynor has hair, but he's like a hero unit, so I don't think that counts.
And he's a rebel. He's like a punk rebel.
Yeah, so he's gotta have like flashy, model-like hair.
Right. But yeah, I think most, like, if not all Terran units are either like androids or, like you said, bald or have short hair.
So the female characters for Terran have hair, like Ghosts. Ghosts definitely have hair, right?
Probably.
Probably, but yeah, it's gonna be short as well. You have to follow the military standards and operating.
Right. I'm wanting them to click on an SCV. I'm curious to see if we can spot any hair on any of these guys.
Why do you even bring this up? Are you balding right now?
You know what? The stress of life, the fact that in 5 years kids might be a thing. Oh my goodness. Life is spiraling out of control.
So I'm going to take a guess and assume that you got your first gray hair this morning.
You know, if I woke up with gray hairs, it's because my husky slept on the bed.
I don't know, man. I'm talking like real gray hair.
Now, if you also notice, there's a dot that you can see on the command center bald guy's head, and that's because there's a ghost always with a nuke ready to launch on his head if he doesn't follow commands.
Oh boy.
It's an intense job. They will blow you up.
Oh boy. So we're going to see, let's just get back in the game here. So we're going to see Bisu actually go for the in-base gate and Cybernetics core. So that's a bummer for us. Sure. I wanted to see those proxy gateways happen.
Thanks, SKCD. Everybody in the world thinks I'm balding now.
Well, you are.
Hey, and where's your barracks on the high ground?
Well, if he was going to go for barracks on high ground, he would go for like the barracks command center, but he's actually just going to go play it super safe, get into SimCity up with the refinery, barracks, and supply depot, and he's going to play the factory expand build, which is fine, but BC already has his first cell out for him. He's going to move across the map here, but it really shouldn't do any damage at all. Like, if he gets to like even an SCV kill, I'd be surprised.
Right. Okay, so while the early game is picking up, let me ask you, XKCD,
Alright.
if you could take one Brood War unit with you on an island that you had to live on abandoned for a year, which Protoss unit would you take?
Why can't I just say? Why would you say Protoss? Can I use a Terran unit?
Okay, 80 StarCraft unit. That was subliminal.
Alright, I was gonna say Science Vessel.
You would take a science vessel so you can like irradiate the
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Mine's not gonna. Oh, you're gonna see that pylon?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, he sees the pylon now. Bisu's jig is completely up. Is that gonna be Proxy Robo?
Uh-oh. Or maybe he just sent out a pylon to scare mine. I mean, that's what I do. When I play PvT, I just build pylons everywhere, and everybody thinks that I'm just proxying at 3 different locations.
Oh my, yeah, this is actually gonna be huge. Bisu's actually gonna force the proxy even though mine scouts it out.
Yeah, and the Marines are sent out. He's gonna probably have to cancel. I don't see this lasting very long. But the single Dragoon against a Vulture, possibly Marines for the defense, and there is a Zealot out there too. So Bisu's gonna go for it.
Alright, to make matters worse, mine has yet to actually scout where Bisu's at. Second gateway's
Alright
coming
guys,
down.
my computer is like going crazy on me, so I'm gonna restart this thing.
Go for it, Elmaster.
Go for it.
Everything is like lagging to shit, the stream is stopped, I don't know what's going on. I'll be back,
The
You'll be
forces
back.
are against you. It's all that biking.
I guess.
Oh, this is gonna be an all-in build for coming in from Bisu. Third
If he
gateway.
had the bike wired to his computer, so that way he could energize it when he wrote it, then he might have the electricity to power his stream.
Yeah, how many watts does a computer take? I can do about 330 for an hour.
121 gigawatts.
A lot.
I don't think I could
Be back in time.
Enough the power to Gibson. But yeah, this is actually gonna be interesting. So, BC already built 3 gateways, so he actually might be looking to bulldog into mines.
Are we actually going to get our Bulldog XKCD? We've been calling
Yes!
for a round of 32.
No, even before that, the KSL, we've been asking for a bulldog to happen.
Yeah, we've been asking for it since the KSL. Come on. You know, if Bisu wins with a Bulldog, then you have to be a Bisu fan for the rest of this series.
I guess I would have to.
He's doing it for you. Oh, but the Vulture here is going to use its little explosive cannon out the front of its nose to try and take down that pylon.
BC build an observer first?
He does have an observer. Look, the observer is important. He wants to be able to clear out the mines.
Right, but... Yeah, Mines Gun is going to be an all-in, because he's the 3 Dragoons already spawning there right now, so you should know exactly how many gateways Mines has.
Yep.
And most important
So
thing
he's got to
that...
clear out those mines at the front. He's got to deal with the massively repairing SCVs. So once the mines are cleared off with his range, he should be able to pick those off. Probably just a rush in on those tanks to try and take them out really quickly. Taking out the tanks is going to be the most important thing here when he decides to move in. Oh, a little bit of a stutter here. He tries to drag the mine in, but the mine does not get the shot off that he wanted.
Oh,
Still, Bisu does clear it out.
the bunker does go down. This is not good for mine. Mine's have to reestablish the bunker. Does have 3 tanks though, so you might be able to hold if you get siege up in time. Well,
Right, he's gonna have to. Bisu's gonna have to do a little bit of dance with these dragoons here, but he is gonna try.
Are you gonna dive in right now?
Now,
1 tank already go down. Might need to pull SCVs off the middle line 10 seconds ago. This is gonna be too slow. You're gonna get a 2nd tank down at the same time, but you should lose both of these dragoons. 3 more dragoons coming in for Bisu right now. But only 1 tank out and a marine.
oh, now the shuttle is gonna be on its way, so Bisu can go for exactly what we were thinking earlier. Just a little bit of a ferry into the main base if he wants to, and what he should do is just drop a few zealots inside there to harass the SCVs.
Right,
And
there it is.
then continue to apply pressure with his dragoons at the front. But I'm loving this aggressive early game in this PvT. Mind might be able to hold, though. He's got a good siege position inside of his main base again. He's kind of reestablished himself. He's got the SCVs ready to repair. Can Bisu force the issue here? And at what point will Bisu be all in, since he's only on one base?
He already sent out a probe to his naturals. I don't think it's going to be an all-in attack coming in from Bisu. But this is more looking to be very economically aggressive. Looks like Mind already sniffed out the shuttle drop and gonna lay a couple mines down. Bisu knows where they are because of the observers. He's gonna try to work his way around those mines. First two Dragoons are now in. Looks like... Ooh. I don't think the shuttle drop's gonna work anymore. Like, Bisu took way too much time trying to set this up.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm seeing, is that Bisu really doesn't have a chance here to get this drop in. Siege is just way too strong. He had that timing, but he had to hit before Siege was available. He almost had it. Should have applied even more pressure to get that final tank down. Wasn't able to, and I don't know that Bisu can even take this game at this point. Well, his Nexus, he's gonna put one down eventually at his natural base here, and then he's going to be far behind in this game. He's overmined his main for longer than he wanted to. It's going to come down to, can he take a fast third also, if he wants to go into a macro game versus mine.
Well, you know, the thing for Bisu that he could actually, I think, could have won it outright had he gone for the shuttle first as the observer. Just play look very risky, like having to not worry about those mines. But looks like Bisu wanted to play it the safe route and make sure that all the mines were cleared out outside of mine's base, and we're seeing it right now where Bisu's trying to be a little bit aggressive, but he only has shuttles, or at least zealots inside that shuttle, so he shouldn't be doing any damage at all. And we're seeing Bisu being played on the back foot right now. The question is that it's not over for Bisu yet, but he's going to have to make some very crucial plays to get back into this.
He does have a very high Dragoon count right now, and I don't know what he can do with that, but he does have kind of a soft contain. He's keeping vultures out of his main and natural. And what is Mind going to do here? Obviously, Mind has no problem as a Terran player sitting back and building up his two bases as strong as possible and getting a really good army before pushing out. There's no rush for him. But can he do anything to weaken Bisu beyond the fact that there was a late Nexus at his natural base?
Well, you're taking his third right now. You already have the probe sent out to his third. And he's getting this.
Well, this is what Bisu had to do. If Bisu doesn't take this faster third, then he will basically lose the game because of the amount of mining time that Mind has had on him.
You know, Bisu actually should take fourth right now at the same time. Do a very risky double expand. There's no way that Mind's actually going to start to push out. And we're going to see Mind's actually going to play very defensive well. He's going to get his third command center, but building on the low ground. So we're going to see Mind slowly take over his own ramp, try to slowly push Bisu back. It looks like Mind just be content to go for that 3-base Terran play. And I think what Mind's actually going to do with that is actually go for that 2-1 timing attack again, like he did in the last game on Heartbreak Ridge.
Right. So Bisu just has to confirm that there's that third command center. Because otherwise, taking that fourth would be really risky if Mind's not expanding and going off a 2-base all-in. But he is going to be taking that third base. He's got the command center on its way over there. So you were right. Taking a fourth base actually wouldn't be unreasonable. But then Bisu is going to have to hope that he drops enough gateways down in time. Really, though, does he have the right tech? Where's the Arbiters? Where's the Stargates that Bisu needs to deal with the strong factory army that Mind is going to have?
Bisu can't afford
None of that is available to Bisu right now. It's going to be relying on Zealots and Dragoons, which isn't that great.
Well, the saving grace for Bisu, with that in mind, is that Mind is playing defensive with off, getting a third command center already. So, like, Mind can't push out yet, so Bisu has the time now to catch up on the tech tree. Either go for the Arbiters or go for the carriers, whatever one he chooses to do. And Lexby just now finished for the Zealots right now. And once again, we're going to see Mind continue to reinforce the tank line.
Oh, and Bisu's all in here. Look, he didn't build a third. He actually doesn't have a Nexus over his third base like it looked like he was going to do. So he's probably going to be going all in off these two bases.
Looks like, oh my goodness, three Vulture going inside of Bisu's main base. So he's actually going to count all the gateway counts. Going to see it's going to be an all-in right now. Looks like Bisu's going to force the issue right now.
Any extra tech inside of the main base, it's going to require engagements here for Bisu.
Oh, this is very nice, actually. Bisu actually got all his Zealots right into the tank line here, but there's not enough Dragoons behind him. And Mind already pulled off SCVs off the line to buffer a little bit. Vulture is doing a lot of damage inside of Bisu's own main base here. And mind you, should make sure that he doesn't lose all of his tanks.
Oh yeah, Bisu lost way too much. That was too strong of a vulture attack,
And
Bisu
GG.
sacrificed them all. GG.
Nice defense for Mind. And the thing is, I don't think that'll be rattling Bisu too much because Bisu went for like a cheesier build since he had the leg up, right? And he knows,
Right.
it's like it's worth trying it out.
I felt like his factory play was kind of put in an obvious position, though. On top of the fact that Mind was just really doing a really good job of scouting. But it's going to be 1-1, and perfect opportunity for Mind to come back into this game. He's got to win the next two, though. He's got to be thinking that.
Right.
Gotta
Alright.
pick my two best builds in the next two maps.
Possibly back.
All right, Eric.
What's up, L Master? So Bisu's just losing to Mind in game number 2.
Yeah, I just come back and I see Bisu engaging uphill, but then I saw vultures killing a lot of probes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Bisu went for a
player.
three gate robo shuttle play, and it didn't work out for him. And then Mind just simply got the economical advantage. But the thing that we could talk about though is that was getting that observer what caused Bisu to lose that game. Because not having that shuttle out in time before the tanks got sieged, I think was the crucial moment of that game for Bisu and Mind.
Right, because and we even saw that Bisu took a zealot and ran it in to drag the mines into the bunker and tanks anyway. So if that's what he could have done from the beginning, why have the observer when you're just gonna he's very famous for picking off spider mines with his dragoons.
Right.
Even without an observer, he should have just relied on his micro ability and the fact that the zealot could just tank all the mines anyway,
Right.
and just gotten that quicker shuttle.
That was very weird coming in from Bisu.
Yeah, I don't agree with the build. I don't think it was the best, but you can't nitpick at it now. It's too late.
Right. The build was fine though. But I think no need to get the observer. Right. So,
So go ahead and refresh your stream if you can, so that way we can try and sync up a little bit better.
What are you seeing right now? I'm seeing the K-pop band dancing. I see the Pepsi.
I
see 2,000.
Pizza, I
Oh,
saw
the phone, 5%.
5%. Yeah.
Wait, I'm seeing
Yeah,
2,000 again. Okay, I'm like 4 seconds behind you guys.
Now I'm on the commercial with the Power AU that like jumps from the building. He's
Yeah,
gonna
this
give me
guy's
powers
awesome.
and shit.
Oh my god, I'm like 10 seconds behind you guys. I don't even know how.
Yeah, XKCD, I would count like 5 seconds and then I would start casting whatever. I don't know what it is. Apparently streaming puts us behind. Because I had the same problem, and you were way ahead.
Right.
Streaming is killing esports. That's the problem.
It is. Not having offline casters, but killing us.
Yeah. Hey, have you guys seen that StarCraft video where it's like the mother and her son and
Where they all die?
they all die? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It
horrible.
looks like they're on Tatooine. And there's a Zerg invasion.
Oh, that was the worst, man.
I imagine that's like the Korean version of Star Wars, maybe.
Possibly.
And instead of the Zerg, those were actually Gungans, but the Gungans are all angry because everybody thinks they're stupid. God, the new Star Wars movie better be as hype as good as it is hype.
Well, there's only one way to find out, is by watching it, so.
Yeah.
It's Power AU commercial.
But you don't like chicken?
All right, guys, I got a serious question here. You know how like if you lose a thumb, that sometimes they take your big toe and put it in place of your thumb. Which big toe would you sacrifice?
Wait. Let's go back. People actually replace their thumbs with their big toes?
Yeah, man, they're
What?
about the same size. And you know what? You could give an even bigger thumbs up if you have your big toe on your hand. How cool would that be? Your hitchhiker thumb would be so much better than everyone else.
I plan to not lose my thumbs at all, okay? And not get to ever that situation where I would have to give up my big toe.
I plan to not stress about it and wait 5 or 10 years before we can just quite easily grow your own thumb if you need it. Just grow it in a petri dish and reattach it, so it won't be a big deal.
Right, but right now in the present, if your mouse hand loses its thumb, how hard would that be to continue to use your mouse? Wouldn't you need the stability of your big toe to replace your thumb?
Not really. You can use your index finger.
You could probably come close to using a mouse without a thumb, but there'd be a lot of other things you couldn't do without opposable thumbs. They're pretty useful.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think you might not ever have quite the same level of control, but you could come pretty close. I think I'm just playing around with using my mouse right now without a thumb, and I think you can come pretty close.
We should have like a no thumbs tournament. That'd be sweet.
So how would you verify that would happen? Like
You have to stream.
You have to stream
your camera has to be on your thumb.
Oh my. That's just too much work, man. That requires people buying webcams. That requires me getting the webcam.
Is the webcam?
Anyway, I think I'd get rid of my left big toe. I think I'd use my left big toe.
I don't think I'd care either way. I mean, you know.
Because that's my bad leg anyway. So I'll just go ahead and throw it downstream.
In that case, I have to use my right one because my right leg's my bad leg. Already had surgeries on it.
Yeah. Hopefully once your toe gets on your hand, it's not quite as smelly as it is on your foot.
Fun fact, I went to the same college as Tasteless did.
Who did? What?
Said fun fact, I went to the same college as Tasteless did.
He
was
didn't
a couple
go to
years
college.
ahead of me, though.
Is that the trick question?
No, Tasteless went to college.
Oh, where'd he go?
He went to Regis University in Denver.
Oh, very cool.
What do you study? Communication?
Oh, is that what? I know why you're in Denver, so you can do blood doping.
Why would Denver? You don't have to be anywhere to do blood doping.
No,
Unless
but you're in the higher elevation environment for optimal training.
That's true. Actually, the super optimal situation is to live at a low altitude, so you can do the hardest possible actual muscular work. You know, because if you're at low altitude, there's more oxygen. You can physically, you know, exert more force with your muscles. And then you live in, you know, you have an altitude tent that you sleep in. And so you get the main benefit of being in altitude with your altitude tent, but you can do, you know, the hardest training physically. So that's like considered the ideal.
Right.
Training.
Or the most ideal one, though, L Master, you may agree with me on this, is the hyperbolic chamber.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine a day's worth of training is an entire year. Or what is it? Is that backwards? A year's worth of training is an entire day.
I could use one of those for TLC.
Run like 19-minute 5K one day, go in there, come back, and then all of a sudden you run like 15 flat.
Right.
Go in again, run 14, spend like an extended week, come back and run like 13 flat, be like, I'm on the world scene now, suckers.
Yeah, and I always play StarCraft with 12 times gravity. I want my hands to be like barely moving off the keyboard. Now this is actually something true here, because I've been doing this workout regimen where I work out between games, so that way I can fit it in. I was recently playing StarCraft, but I was lifting weight like bicep level weights, and in the middle of a game, and I put my hands back on the keyboard, and I could not move them because I was so
I feel like you'd
tired.
just be twitchy as heck and just feel weird.
Right. So don't ever do like bicep lifts during the middle of a StarCraft game, because when you get back, your hands just feel completely useless.
Well, it's a good way to stimulate stage fright. Because your hands are going to be useless anyways if you're having stage fright.
Yeah, that's a good point. Didn't think about that. But fortunately, I'm not on the big stage like Bisu and Mind are.
Yeah.
Sadly, I can't use your strategy of workouts between games because I usually train like about 2 or 3 hours a day. I average about 20 hours a week. So
yeah, that doesn't work for him either.
There's no time, L Master. You're too optimized already.
unless I actually tried to play StarCraft while riding the trainer, but I haven't figured out a position where that works.
Oh, is your trainer good looking? What's her name?
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Hey, I said her. I gave you the benefit of the doubt.
I know. If anything there, though, I'd be the trainer.
Yeah, as long as Sandusky's not your trainer, you're good.
I don't think I need football training though. I would not be a good climber at 30
He does
pounds.
locker room shower training, but you're a little too old. You were too old to make the cut.
Yeah, and a little too skinny, you know.
Or why not let's be a pep talk trainer?
5'8", 63 kilos. Yeah, not exactly the typical football build.
Kilos? God, you're really just playing to that foreign community of ours.
Cycling really talks in kilos because watts per kilo is like, relative.
You know who
power.
also talks in kilos? Heroin dealers.
You know
Yeah,
who
probably.
also talks in kilos? Poor Europeans. Now this is the freedom stream, alright? We are all Americans here. This is the official
We're the
stream.
furthest from it. We use the imperial system.
Exactly.
Because that's what we are. Imperialistic.
Remember-
So it looks like we have the word wheelie on the screen.
Louis.
It win one, lost one.
Ah, okay. I did not understand that at all.
It went off the screen too quickly. Anyway, guys, that means we're going to game number 3 between Mind and Bisu. It's going to be on La Mancha. I think this is going to be the most exciting map of today. You can argue that Circuit Breaker might be, but I'm arguing.
Circuit Breaker, Protoss Graveyard map.
I think La Mancha is actually going to be the best map. It's the most even one in my opinion. You have,
There
you
you
have
go,
both
one.
options. You have both options for Terrence to like control Protoss on bridges, but at the same time, Protoss can make a lot of counterattacks in open areas.
So, on the left side of the map as the yellow Protoss.
Whoa, how do you?
And
You're like 20 seconds ahead. Oh my goodness.
You better catch up, dude.
I know.
And on the right side of the map, it's Mind as the green Terran. And we know it's Mind because he's Terran. So that's how we can tell the difference between the two players.
Oh, snap, crackle, and pop.
The other way you could tell the difference is to read Korean, but I'm not that talented, so I have to rely on knowing the races.
Study now. Let's do it. Okay, guys. So we're on this 4-player map, La Mancha, and it really gets exciting when you have when you're battling for that third base. And I feel like whoever can secure that third base quicker is gonna have the will take the game. Just taking a nice economic lead and stability. But it's a little early to say that. Talking about the early game, Bisu sent out a probe in the first game to take a gas. Sent out a pylon to the middle to do a factory. So I feel like he's starting off gimmicky.
Wait, what? Send a pylon to the middle to do a factory? Huh? What are you trying
Oh, to do a robotics facility. I'm sorry.
Is this,
Okay,
is this a UMS map?
I was like, are you talking about Mind or Bisu here, or both?
No,
or
he
what?
built a robotics facility. So Bisu has opened up kind of gimmicky in his first 2 maps. So does that mean that he's a little bit worried about Mind here? You know, I felt like we felt the fear of Bisu's fear against Mind in the KSL also. And so you can almost kind of tell by the way people decide how to open up their games against players, whether they think that they're evenly matched, or whether they think that they're going to lose.
So what you're suggesting is that Bisu thinks that he can't match up Mind in like a straight up macro game. So he's trying to use like these early aggressive plays to get himself that advantage that can carry on to the late game. That would make a lot of sense though.
I think it's absolutely necessary that Bisu has that mindset, considering that Mind has Bisu's number. He's a really good Terran player, and it defeated him in the last best of series that they were in.
Alright.
And not many people can claim that they have Bisu's number. Some people have said that Hero has his, but they match up evenly.
C can lay claim to that, I think, if I'm thinking right.
Alright. It's only been online leagues.
Kind of, back and forth between Bisu and C. I think there's another situation where it's 50% between both players.
We're going to see Factory in the Spidey spell coming down for Mind right now. Mind's going to have that nice anti-zealous SimCity once again. Range, too good in range, now upgrading for Bisu at the same time. And
So XKCD, if you could take one Protoss unit to a desert, not a Brood War unit, Protoss unit to a desert to ride around, which unit would you take?
can you build in the desert?
I would like to ride around on a Reaver in the middle of the desert.
I would like to take a
That
pro.
would be the slowest journey ever. Could you imagine getting thirsty and riding a Reaver? You're just like boned. I mean, you know, like I want water. Well, in 8 hours, we'll make it, you know, 100 feet to the nearest watering hole.
But it would be really exciting to be on the back of a Reaver. They're so cuddly.
Well, if you want to ride the back of Reaver, just find a donkey in your local zoo. Just ride that instead. They're both.
You don't think that Reavers have like Brondo contained inside of them? You could just sip on Brondo.
Ooh, mind in base CC. What?
This
See,
is
did he wall off?
No, that's just.
No? Okay.
Mine's just going for the in-base CC because I don't want to show Bisu the command center yet because we've seen that Bisu's been really aggressive so far. So he doesn't see the command center. He's probably going to think it's
Gate
more.
expand standard PVT so far.
Right. I think it's gonna be like the most standard PVT game we're gonna have so far.
Alright, so XKC, what are you seeing right now on your stream?
4 Marines and 2 Dragoons under ramp.
Beautiful.
Am I caught up with you guys?
XKCD, a few guys are complaining that your stream is lagging, but I don't know if it's Afrika or your stream.
It's Afrika because I have a thunderstorm happening, I think. Or the ISP.
So why'd you switch over to that over Twitch?
He's sneaking in, and we have a robo facility for Bisu, so really standard play. Second gateway. Mine gets to see all of it though, and Bisu bringing a few Dragoons over to the Natural of Mine, just gonna go up the ramp, but FD coming on down. Oh, 2 tanks. Are we gonna see a strong FD? That'd be cool.
That would be
Strong
great.
FD is pretty nice against this, against Gate Expand, but I don't know if we're gonna see that or not.
I think that Bisu's in a good position right here to deal with whatever is getting pushed out. And it's just going to be a simple command center. But I like that Mind had already had the barracks coming out to the front so he could basically scout over the ridge.
Oh,
and
sweet.
get
He's gonna do
maximum
it. He's
vision
gonna do
against
it.
those drones.
Nice. But I don't think he can go
He
across
actually
the
put a lot
bridge.
of. Wait, that's an SCV pull? No, I thought.
No, that's a transfer. He's landing the SCV, the command center over at the natural. So both players are going to be taking their natural base, and eventually we're going to see that back and forth, you know, kind of tug-of-war style PvP between these two players on the top half of the map.
Right.
I wonder which player would be bold enough to take the 12 o'clock position. I think this is the best spawn position for both players though, because they can actually take the 3 and 9 o'clock relatively safely.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you took the 12 o'clock position, I mean, mine could probably take it more reasonably than Bisu could, but for a Protoss to take that base, that'd just be dumb.
Yeah, it would.
Mine could just slow creep to it and just shut it down and take it.
Right, it would be the biggest waste of time. That's why we saw mine go ahead and put a Vulture mine at the 9 o'clock position. Go ahead and scout that in 3rd Nexus timing.
It's an interesting barracks location that mine has outside its natural, like just sitting there. Normally, I would expect it to be like floating around, maybe to its 3rd already, just to start building a SimCity up there, but that's not going to be the case for now.
Yeah. Well, BC does have his obs out, and it's not going to get denied at all unless there's some sort of epic scan as it flies over the Marines. And the Armory. So who did we see that had the really fast upgrades on their Armory? Was that Mong who was like getting really fast to 3-3 on his units? Or was that Mind in this previous series?
Mine's always been a person I'd like to go for the 2-1 timing attack. Like we've seen in the last
So
two
Bisu
games.
looks like he's playing a pretty standard game here. We can see he's taking his 3rd, he's throwing up a Stargate. This looks like pretty typical Brood War play.
Right. But
Yeah,
going
it
back,
would be really cool to get an Arbiter game out of this series.
right. But going back to like discussion about the early armory, like it can definitely serve to be quite well if you're going to see carriers come out once again from Bisu. Because if we look at the Caspa game played on this map, most of them, if not all of them, had been carrier games from the Protoss player. Because there's a lot of open areas for carriers to move around because there's like all these pools and whatnot where the Terran can't really reach that well. It's very easy for carriers to defend bridges as well.
Oh, and a nice wall up there for Bisu to defend his 3rd. And all the 3rd bases have 2 entrances on this map, so there's no real good choice as far as a base if you're trying to scope out entrances. But that's fine. You can wall it off easily with your pylons, and it's just part of the typical third base build.
Oh, I lied. So much for standard. We got Fleet Beacon.
Yeah, the
there's the
carriers.
carriers.
It's a great call by XKCD.
So we're going to see the carriers again once again. And the interesting thing is that Bisu actually built a forge this time early on, so he might still go for that like +1 attack for his ground army. So it may not be like necessarily an all-in carrier play, but more of a carrier support for his ground army.
So we see Bisu slightly slow on the main probes, and mine taking his third base.
Right.
Now, Bisu does have a considerable amount of Dragoons over Zealots. And, you know, sometimes you need that extra gas at this point to be able to build those carriers. But instead, he just went for a really strong Goon core army right now.
I don't think he wants to show to mind that he's actually going for the carriers right now. Like, if you show your opponent he has a lot of Dragoons, it's going to lead your opponent to think that he still has Arbiters until he actually scans it. But at least going for the Arbiter attack. But you see, like, the nice defensive posture from mine, though, like, the way he sets himself
Still, a good round of Zealots is going to be kind of necessary. If mine does apply any pressure with his tanks, you need those Zealots out.
Right.
But this is looking like a really, really heavy macro game for both players. Just constant base taking. I wouldn't be surprised if the map gets taken while carriers are coming out for Bisu.
All the Vultures are coming for the probe, and the Goons are out of position. Will the Vultures arrive in time? Nope, they turn away.
Nope.
So yeah, Bisu's like, I'm just going to get a fourth base, because I like fourth bases. And because gas.
That's a science facility coming in for mine there, so it looks like the +1 and weapons upgrade is almost done for mine. Just timing his science facility at the same time so he can start the +2 attack. And he's adding additional factories right now. Does mine even know that it's going to be a carrier play? We haven't yet to see any scans happen yet. At least we haven't seen it happen on the minimap. Oh, Show's going to meet the dropship.
By the way. And it's a 4 Zealot drop.
Oh, slightly anticlimactic here.
The dropship comes back.
Dropship defense.
You know, interestingly enough, there was only one machine shop up to this point in the game. And generally, you see a Terran player with 2, so they can get out a proper number of tanks. So, kind of low on tanks. But a number of factories without the machine shops are going to be a perfect position for mine to build Goliaths out of.
Right, and already
which,
the first.
it seems like he's already got a few queued up.
Right, looks like Martin already knew that the carrier switch was going to, carrier play was going to happen. Carrier's not actually going to get that engineering bay. Only 2 carriers though, so mine should have enough time to float it away. But he's not doing it.
Mine's like, in this case, I should probably stay by eBay. Normally, you just kind of be like, whatever, but in this case, eBay is good to have.
Yeah.
But like,
he needs his turrets.
Right. Here's the important thing for mine though, like he can't let the same thing that happened in Heartbreak Rage, where he just gets way too distracted by the 2 carriers or 3 carriers early on before just dying out the Bisu's untouched macro. Like mine needs to make sure that he has enough static defenses that he's confident enough to be able to start moving across the map and start challenging these carriers before they have their strength in numbers right now. Because only 2 carriers on the map is not really that much, but once you start adding like additional, like till you get 5 or 6, then it's actually a super scary force.
What Bisu does here, or what Bisu's trying to do here, is use that shuttle while the interceptors distract the turrets to drop in the zealots, and then the zealots kill off the turrets quickly, allowing the interceptors to go to work.
I don't think it's even that though. Like it's just you can still don't have to necessarily drop. Oh, hold that thought. We're gonna see 2 vultures getting a couple probe kills here. Be 1 probe, 2 kills.
Oh, that was 5, I think. 5 probes dead.
Yeah, that vulture actually got a kill at the end.
Also, just for chat, EAPM is not every click you make. EAPM like makes a point of trying to cut out repetitious commands.
Right.
EAPM is always very, very much lower than APM. Like usually at least 20 or 30% lower, sometimes 50.
Right.
Anyway, back to the game. Dropship gets sniped by the carriers, although lots of Goliaths out now for Mind.
Right. But this is the issue once again. Like Mind is not really touching Bisu's 4th or 5th. Like he's still playing very defensively, even though it doesn't really have to. Like I'd like to see Mind start to take more active map control, especially now that he has the 3 bases up and going, 3 gases. You can even take a 4th himself, or just try to move out to take Bisu's fifth, at least
Yeah,
attack.
Mine's got a lot of his army moved out between the main and between the natural and the third base right now, but Bisu looks like he might be looking for a huge engagement on that main base, meanwhile trying to also do a side push here on that natural, continuing to do economic damage. These carriers are definitely going to continue to be a nuisance here.
They definitely are.
Do you guys think that Mind is doing better than he did in the Heartbreak Ridge game against the carriers, or is it just kind of the same situation right now?
Well, it's not Heartbreak Ridge, so it's easier for Mind to move his army across the map. It's not a little bit more flat, and he does have a very sizable army now. The question is that he needs to make sure that he needs to force Bisu to bring his carriers back on the defensive. That's the biggest issue right now. He's starting to be a little bit more aggressive, and I think this is actually a better play for Mind, but these carriers doing a lot of damage inside Mind's natural. Like, he needs to...
Oh, and he gets the engineering bay.
Oh, that's not good. And this is what I don't like for Mind, though. Like, he's being, once again, indecisive about what he wants to do. Like, he sees that the carriers push in.
This is actually why we've seen many Terrans lose in the SSL. Is a lot of the indecision on when to push with the army.
Right. But just commit to it. Like, you have a very sizable army. Bisu's ground army is not going to be that high. You have the upgrade advantage. I mean, what you could try to do is actually try to take that 12. It's very aggressive posture to take that 12, but at the very least, like, you can try to somewhat control where the carriers can go. And you see, once again, Bisu going to start pushing into the natural of Mind. Mind's going to start to slowly push across the map here, but I think he's going to be actually faster at pushing across the map.
Oh, but Mind's giving up building turrets inside of the natural base. He's got to do something with this push. Mind is actually hurting himself a lot right now. And if he hadn't built another there is one finish now inside the natural.
It's actually Mind's going to go for the counterattack into Bisu natural right now. The observer's going to see, and finally we're going to see Bisu's carries fall off. And play
yeah, but the problem with him attacking the natural is that's the closest location for the carriers to travel from their harassing position to help out with his bases. But so I feel like Mind should have gone for that third base at the 9 o'clock location.
Doesn't matter though that the 2-1 is not finished for Mind. It's a perfect time for him to attack. Like any place he could attack, it's probably one of the better choices. He's actually a very close.
Oh, nice! Mind is gonna cut off the reinforcements and DT sneaking in here.
Ooh.
But yeah. I like that.
But DT's gonna get sniped by the Mines though.
Attacking all the reinforcing units coming from the factories of Mind. Meanwhile, the carriers are dealing with the front army of Mind. So there's no reinforcements to make this position stronger, and Bisu's going to continue to just whittle it down. And a lot of these tanks are just now going to be...
Mind is now running away, and Bisu's ground army is going to trap Mind. Mind realizes he has a siege up, but the Goliaths are almost all... there's only 4 Goliaths left.
Right, this is not good for...
And of course, Bisu's on 5 bases, so again, Mind is just not making the decisions he needs against the carriers. I feel like Bisu's pretty much got this at this point.
If Mind had gone down to the bottom left, he would have taken those 2 bases for free. He would have eliminated Bisu's 5th and 6th base.
Where's the 6th base at?
Or 4th and 5th, sorry. I can't count, XKCD. Don't hurt me.
I mean, this is fine, though, but, like, we're seeing the same thing happen if you saw in Heartbreak Ridge, like we're talking about it right now. Mind is being indecisive. And to make matters even worse, like, Bisu doing a very good job of just being delayed, trying to delay Mind's army. Shh. Sorry about that.
Go to sleep now, both of you. But, yeah. Mind Bisu's little decision to cut off the reinforcements is really good, because then the Goliaths got whittled down, and then it was easy for the carriers to finish their job.
Right.
I'm sorry, that's still cracking me up. Alright, these carriers are just getting way too strong for Mind now. Is he going to be able to even expand out to a 4th base during this harassment here? He should just give up mining at that natural. It's a pain in the ass anyway.
But he can't though. Like, he still needs to have that mineral.
I know, but it's a pain in the ass, XKCD. Mine should just move on from the natural.
Nah.
Okay, that's bad caster encouragement here. These carriers are just going crazy right now. And, wow, that is a ton of Goliaths, though, finally built up.
Right, but, I mean, Bisu's, the problem is that even though, like, that's a ton of Goliaths, like, Mine's not doing anything against Bisu with it. All he's doing is being defensive with it. I'm going to see Mine trying to go for a 4th right now, actually, but it's going to get seen by the DT, and it's going to snipe the net.
Can he even land it is the problem. No, Bisu already just takes away his DT out of that position.
And Templars. Now he's got 5 bases, plenty of gas to make those.
Right.
Right, and High Templars are what we were talking about in the first game. Can just clean out troves of Goliaths. The same way you see Hydras die so easily to those.
That DT is going to be extremely annoying, especially if mine doesn't realize it.
Oh
It's
my
still
god!
there.
How many kills so far? 5, 6.
There we go.
Speed
Mine
6.
realizes it.
One more swipe.
One more.
Oh, there he goes.
But one thing I'm going to see mine pushing across the middle of the map here. That's nice use of scan, though. That's going to snipe at an observer and a DC at the same time. Oh, that's actually a very nice scan onto Bisu's army. Going to see the High Templar coming to play now.
That is just a swarm of interceptors engaging this army along with the zealots here.
Right.
And what Elmaster pointed out earlier is these Goliaths are constantly trying to move their attention to interceptors because there's no priority queue for units in Brood War. Unlike people, if you've come from StarCraft 2, there's actually priority for which units are most important to be attacked. So that way you don't constantly have to babysit your units.
Right.
In this situation, you're babysitting the Goliaths constantly.
Oh, and mine just GG's.
GG!
Game number 3 going to Bisu. He's going to take that 2-1 lead going up in this series. These are the best 2 players in their respective race in the world going at it. And we're going to see a game number 4 on Circuit Breaker.
Right.
Yeah, Goliath shoot air over ground is preference. So, you know, if you have just a couple carriers throwing out a few interceptors, all the Goliaths are going to shoot at air. And then if you have a primarily ground army, you know, and you're playing against a Terran that has like 2/3 Goliaths, those 2/3 Goliaths do nothing. They just waste their time shooting at interceptors while the ground army eats them apart. It's a pretty nice style.
Right.
Right.
It is sick indeed. So that was a good, solid game number 3.
Like, if you look at the Casper game, the way that Terrans was able to beat Protoss on his map is like the decisiveness. Like, you need to take active map control. And the other issue is that mine did not have any vultures mixed in with his unit composition, so there's no way that he would even be able to successfully defend against any ground army attack because he has no mines to buffer for his tanks or his Goliaths. Another issue.
Yeah, I feel like mine's just been playing way too passive versus Bisu so far.
Yeah, he's playing too safe, you could say.
Yeah.
And you can't really afford to do that against
he looks off his game because in TVZ we see him do all these different crazy aggressive builds to start off and like jostle his opponent, and he just doesn't seem to have that same kind of mind game play against Bisu today.
Right.
And thank you, High Roll Gambit, for going all banhammer on people in the chat.
That's probably a bad idea to give him the banhammer.
Right.
Probably
All right,
a bad idea.
So if you had to fight your way out of a prison, which Kung Fu artist would you take with you into the prison? Like Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Tony Jaa. Who would you... It doesn't have to be a Kung Fu person. Who would you want to do hand-to-hand combat to fight you out of the prison from a movie? You know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, anybody.
I
mean, Jackie Chan, I feel like, or Jet Li would just be pretty awesome at
I'm
fighting
gonna have to pick
their way
Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris?
Yeah. That is the best decision you could make up for that. But I have a question for you, though. Like, if you had to make a very bad joke, which joke would you make?
The one I just did.
No, you can't do that. You already made it. If you had to make one.
Wait, by if you had to make a bad joke, which joke would you make?
Yeah.
Like, of all the jokes, which one would you pick?
Yeah. I'm asking you to make a new joke right now.
A new one?
A new one? Like, the one that you...
Like,
here's the thing, though. I'm convinced that you have a piece of paper right in front of you with all these bad jokes written out. I'm going to ask you to use some of your creativity and make one on the spot.
I'm holding a bottle of hard cider.
I don't believe you. I think you just have like you have a computer and a paper right in front of you with all these jokes you have lined up to ask us in these breaks.
It takes years of training. Just think like Bisu is to StarCraft as I am to my joke training.
But that's not even mathematically correct. Only because Bisu's good at StarCraft and you're bad at jokes.
It's the same exact thing though. I'm good at being bad at jokes.
No, but there's a difference between being good at jokes and being good at...
Listen, XKCD, children love my jokes. That's what it's for. Bringing smiles to young children of the future.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's not
All
any
your
kids...
kids are gonna cry growing up. They will cry.
I'm not confident.
You will give them ice cream, and they will have soggy ice cream and soggy waffle cones because they're crying all over their hands and getting their waffle cones wet with their soggy tears.
And the reason they're crying is because...
Because you are a horrible person, XKC.
No, because you're making bad jokes. You gotta make better jokes.
Oh, Elmaster brought up a good scenario here. If you could have a sixth sense, what would yours be?
That's a good question. I don't even know.
The real question is, can either of you say toy boat 10 times in succession?
Say what?
Okay, I'll try that if you try unique New York 10 times as fast as you can.
Unique New York, 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 unique...
There you go.
Dude,
Got
that
him.
was impressive.
I can get close on that one. The funnest one I think to say though is Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, just because you can da-da-da-da-da-da-da with it. But toy boat is impossible.
Toy boat?
Toy boat?
Try to say toy boat 10 times without saying ridiculously slow. Like obviously if you go toy boat, you can do it. But that like normal
Toy
conversation
boat,
speed.
toy boat, toy boat, toy boat.
No, you already messed it up second time. Toy boy.
Toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat, toy boat. I can't do it anymore.
That one's hard.
Stop judging me.
I've never seen anyone do that one.
You know who could do it? Nada.
No, it has to be an English person doing it. You can't just have like a Korean person doing it.
But I like the ones that lend themselves to like saying it fast with like a rhythm. You know? Like how much wood could woodchuck chick wood? Much wood is woodchuck chick wood.
I have no idea what you just said.
Or like Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled peppers, you know, you can just rattle them off.
Right.
Right.
You sound like the Korean casters when they're doing the marine sound.
You know, you just gotta be talking and you can't keep up with everything that you do and make it gonna get with everything. We're gonna sort of mess it up. Sometimes I can get going in a really nice fast rhythm.
Have you heard XKCD's famous new reverse sound?
Oh, well, you're gonna have me bring it up now?
We're gonna have a reaver drop. Go.
Ribu, 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 ribu. Ah, ribu, ribu.
He like harnesses like Gonzalez, Speedy Gonzalez or something.
Revo, it's hard to say. Rebu, I can't say that one.
Revo.
Ribu, ribu,
I only get
ribu,
stuck
ribu.
on my tongue. It doesn't come off as good as some of the other things, you know?
Yeah.
That's why we work together on this. Like, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. But we complement each
Also,
other.
guys, did you know the sixth sick sheep sick?
What about six sheep? There's six.
That one-
There's six sheep.
No, that one is really fun. As if you want to do a joke, especially if you've got like kids around and you just like ask, you know, an adult, you know, hey, do you think you can read, right? And then you give them that tongue twister. They try to read it, and they just, you know, they can't read it. They just like try to read it out loud, and then you're just like, see, they can't read. They're hopeless.
You're a cruel man. You know what you're reminding me though is the delivery guy on Big Daddy who's trying to say hippopotamus. He's like hippopotamus.
Hippodotalobotamus.
You give him all the easy ones. Well, I gotta say that the game was not as exciting as I expected it to be on La Mancha. I think it's all gonna come down to Circuit Breaker here. There's so much on the line. Go to the finals here on a 4-player map. This is basically the new fighting spirit. Circuit Breaker's in every map pool. Super balanced map. Gigantic.
Right.
Allows you to have great macro games. We've
wanna
had
be-
the best macro games of all.
Super balanced. Circuit Breaker is death for PvT.
Why is that?
PvT is impossible on that map. It's evil.
Are you saying that from Protoss or Terran perspective?
From a Protoss perspective, that
I don't
shit's
think you ever
unwinnable.
tried hard enough. Have you ever really tried
Forget
hard
that map.
enough?
Yeah,
I mean, well, I don't know how much it's changed in a while, but when I looked like 6 months ago, 7 months ago, Circuit Breaker was pretty heavily in favor of TVP. Like,
Okay.
Terrans are winning like close to 60%.
Well, let me step in here and say that in the round of 32, I believe, it may have been 24, that Iris opened up fast 4 command centers before like a second factory and won his game versus Protoss.
Now you're just rubbing the salt in. It is
And
fair favor.
then Sharp, who watched that series, did the same thing and won against Protoss. So yes, I think against Protoss, who are morons, the PvT is really tough on this map.
So basically all foreigners, foreign Protosses?
Well, no, I'm saying top level morons.
Also,
So
people are
any of the
saying
top
this-
level players that lose to that are morons.
I didn't know you could be a top level moron.
You can be a top level moron. It's definitely possible. Jaehoon, definitely one of those top level morons.
Hey, are you dissing Jaehoon in front of me?
The J-Dog, I'm sorry.
Hey, boy, are you dissing Jaehoon in front of me? Are we gonna have beef?
I can't recall if I dissed him or not.
You better be careful what you say.
XKC, I got you to laugh.
That was a good one.
The joke was solid, but you better be careful with what you're saying.
Oh, all is better today. Okay, can someone call out these positions?
I'll do it. In the top right on Circuit Breaker, we're going to have Bisu at the red Protoss. And in the bottom right, at the yellow tent, we're going to have Mind. Alright, all your bad jokes made up for that.
You see, that's what I do. I tell them terrible until I get good ones.
The good ones that matter.
Alright. So, Bisu won a straight-up game. His confidence has got to be as high as it could ever be. 1 game to go here.
1 game to go. Are you just
game.
assuming Bisu is gonna win this? I know you're a Bisu fanboy, but isn't that a little cocky?
Well, Bisu has Heartbreak Verse next, so... I mean...
No, he said 1 game to go.
Or 1 game to go after this.
No, one game to go to win the series.
No, 1 game to go after this. To lose the series,
okay.
of course.
Hey, for a Bisu fanboy, I have done very neutral casts. I try my hardest. Plus, there's a deeper reasoning behind it, and I won't tell you until the SSL is over.
Oh boy.
There's too much writing on this. And unfortunately, after this, if you guys have seen that, there's a lot of different tournaments that are coming up. The Hmong Star League, which I don't know where the hell that is. It's kind of in limbo. But then we had, then we have another league that apparently is going on, like a team league, that's coming up. But basically, Bisu's not in any of those. His name hasn't been mentioned because there is just the looming threat of having to go and serve in the military. So I think that he's been able to postpone it past this tournament, and I just have that sinking feeling that he will be done after this. So whenever he does lose or win, you know, that's the last time we'll see him for a couple years.
Right. But heading back into the game here, we're actually going to see Mind actually wall off his own ramp. First time you see Mind do something of this nature before. It's a very close factory to his refinery. Same time, BC going to go for that 1 gateway into core. And I'm curious what that probe doing outside is 3rd.
So I know that Free's doing well in this tournament, but while we have some time to discuss, who do you think will take over as the leading Protoss player? Is it just Freeze for the taking? Because there's really no one else challenging him for the throne. Once Bisu goes into the military.
Probably Free. Doesn't Junkie
Who
come
else
back?
is going to win a tournament as a Protoss player once Bisu leaves?
Well, nobody's gonna win anything now because Effort's gonna win everything. So it doesn't matter if you're Protoss, Terrans, you know, just
Effort
Effort's
won't
got
win
this.
anything unless they put the right operating system on his computer.
Yeah, well, he's got to stop complaining, but he'll still win everything.
Yeah, what a baby. He complained, got the operating system he wanted, lost embarrassingly to Mind, and then just raffle quit. I'm so ashamed of that dude. He's got a lot to earn my respect back. Right now, I'm looking for July Zerg to be the new leading Zerg player.
Yeah, but if what he said is true, while I don't know if that's reason to quit, I could understand why you'd be really agitated if someone got special treatment in what's supposed to be an even league.
Right.
Right.
Back in the game here, actually, we're gonna see the Dragoon already make it up to the ramp of Mind, and Mind only made one Marine. Interesting. He actually cut in Marines for his tank.
Oh, we're seeing the Robo come down. This is I don't.
And
think this
again,
might be
the SCV waltzes on in and gets vision of everything, including the Robo facility, but that's pretty standard.
Yeah, pretty standard to go for a Robo off of one gateway only. Tank now out for Mind. Is he gonna be a siege expand? Oh, we're going like back to 2007 right now.
Well, Siege Expand has been a little bit more common on this map. Actually, in that Iris game that I referenced, where he built the 4 command centers, he actually did a Siege Expand, but then built 2 more command centers after he was able to secure his natural.
Right, you kind of have to do Siege Expand to go for 4 command centers, but
yeah.
But I mean, in this case, like mine could just went for Fate Double, would have been fine either way. He really doesn't need the 2 CC tanks out right now.
Right.
But he's going to have his command center set up at the same time that Bisu got his Nexus up and running, so which is good for him. Going to see the Academy and the Engineering Bay come up at the same time. Interesting, though, that mine's actually going to go for double detection. And we have the Observatory coming out for Bisu.
Like, I like that Bisu's gone for the fast observers in all his games. It's kind of cool to see that he's really prioritizing vision and the ability to not lose his units to spider mines that he hasn't detected.
Right.
It gives you a lot of knowledge in this game, though, to be able to send out the observer and count out those factories and see how many bases are taken for the Terran player.
Alright, we're gonna see that. We're gonna see mine actually send over 2 vaults here. Bisu's Dragoons, did they see him? I actually have no idea if they saw them because they're just still hanging there.
I think it's safe to say they didn't because they are just camping the ridge.
Well, that's gonna be a. And Mind is not even checking Bisu's natural.
So Bisu and Mind are going to have very, very similar expansion timings, which, if anything, slightly favors Mind.
Right.
But going into a pretty big, sprawling macro game so far, the only question is carriers round trois, or are we going to see ground game?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
if
this
carries.
could definitely be another carrier game. I mean, his positioning says that carriers would be pretty good at against the natural base of Mind, like on the last map.
Right. I think I also would like to say that I think that Mind is going to go for. Sorry, BC is going to go for the carriers. We're seeing the Mind do the exact same build order. He's going for the very early armory, trying to go for that +1 attack into that 2/1 timing attack. I think we're actually going to see BC throwing on the Stargate already, so which leads me to think he's going for carriers once again. It seems like the exact replica of what happened on La Mancha.
Right, and Bisu's carrier control has actually been really good. That scan! Oh my!
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful for Mind to know where that Stargate's going to be. Something that we see from Flash is that kind of scan.
Right. Second.
Oh, and he's got that armory timing again that we've continued to talk about, that faster armory, getting those upgrades. But you know, what's the cost of getting those upgrades earlier on? I don't see that hurting him at all.
You're going to be behind a couple units because you have to pump the resources into getting the upgrade. But
hey, look at that! It's the same build.
and you see, mine going for a Vulture run by into the third here. You're going to actually get 3 probes, I think.
Wow, but those Vultures got cleaned up really quickly.
But yeah, this is going to be the true test for Mind, though. Like, can Mind figure out how to deal with these carriers in the third game, seeing them? Like, he already lost twice to carriers now. This could be the third time Mind's going to lose to carriers, and if it does, there's going to be a lot of discussion that people are going to have about whether or not Mind can be considered the best Terran.
Right.
So now, the interesting thing here is Mind has had 2 games to play against the same stuff.
Right.
And has had no success. So the question is, on his 3rd try, can he alter something, or is he going to die in the same manner?
Will it be third time to charm? It's the question of the hour here. But I do like what Mind's doing already. Mind's actually doing, you know, the great thing that Mind's doing right now is that he's actually getting a 4th command center right away. So
And he's going for a starport.
Right, this is the exact thing that Mind needs to do. And I think, like, actually Mind figured out how to adjust to this, because he knows that Bisu has no way to pressure on early on. He needs to be...
Hey guys, guess what Bisu did last time? A shuttle drop with 4 zealots. Guess what he looks like he's doing this time?
Shuttle drop with 4 zealots. Because no reason...
those zealots were pretty important because they actually killed off like a turret or two and attacked some SCVs, got the pull to delay some mining time.
Right.
They were fairly effective for not being great harassed units.
This is like how I play Brood War, except with a different build. Doesn't matter the map, doesn't matter the game, doesn't matter what you're doing, same build every time.
Right. The other great thing for mine is that mine's actually making more vultures now. He's actually being way more proactive with them. Just getting the map control with just the spider mines coming out. Like the last 2 games against the carries, like he didn't do any of this at all. And we're gonna see the shuttle get pushed away by that turret there and the reinforcements from mine. So if anything, actually, I think mine's gonna figure out, at least show us how he figured this carrier play from Bisu out.
So, do you think Mind misread this because he's going for the science facility?
I think he's going battle cruisers to counter the carriers, because we all know that's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually...
But no, seriously, I think he misread this as Arbiter play again because of the fact he's going for the science vessels.
I think what he's trying to do is, like, he got that... Remember, he got that army very, very early on? I think what he's trying to do is, he's trying to go for that 2-1 timing attack again. And that's why you're getting the early science facility, because his +1 should be finishing about now, or if not, like the next minute or so.
Right. The only play I think that could be effective here is if he combines EMP with Goliath play.
That actually would be one of the great solutions to do. Like, just having the science vessel out to EMP either the ground army or the carriers. But if you're going to EMP the carriers, you might as well get Wraiths as well. Just to chase them or chase after them. And we see Bisu do once again the same thing, like Elmaster pointed out, the shuttle drop behind the carriers, and the engineering base there again.
The engineering base is getting attacked by the carriers. The shuttle's there with the carriers.
This is deja vu.
A clone game. I feel like I've seen this before. Deja vu.
The funny thing though is that the map pool allows this to happen every time too. Each map is just kind of designed just similar enough that we could see this same build and it can be pulled off correctly every time.
Right. But we're seeing the differences already happened though. Mine has a 4th base mining. Bisu's just now only started to take his 5th, but mine's going to be able to see this happen in time. And I think he's going to be a little bit more proactive with handling this out.
But we're seeing here. Do you see how the Goliath or the Dragoons are actually on that ramp defending the Vultures?
Right.
The Vulture harass against any other Protoss player in this SSL on that 5th base has worked almost every time. Bisu's the only one who's actually had the common sense to put some units in the right locations to defend against this Vulture harassment, and we're seeing that nothing can be done against him. Among was a Terran player who showed great Vulture control to just dismantle Protoss players on this map because of how widespread you are, and the multitasking was way too strong for lesser Protoss.
Yeah, it's a good harass map, for sure.
Right, and we're going to see Bisu starting to clear out some of the mines out of the map here with the Dragoon Observer Force here. More cannons being added to his 5th right now. And we're seeing Bisu start to re-add Zealots into his unit composition. But Bisu is not being aggressive with his carriers. This is interesting. I'm wondering why he's being so not having an attack.
And mine is gonna move out.
Well, this interestingly to note, this is the fastest timing that Bisu's gotten Zealot speed.
Right. We're gonna see carriers start attacking to the 4th here, mine's gonna pull his army back once again.
And the shuttle, the turrets are busy attacking the
interceptors here.
The interceptors are busy attacking the turrets, so the shuttle is able to just fly in there and drop the zealots down.
Right,
which
and
are going to
just
snipe
sit
off the
there.
tank.
Bisu doesn't even care if that shuttle took hits.
Right, but mine's army going to be in place for here for Bisu to deflect Bisu attacks. The issue that mine already lost a lot of turrets, a lot of minerals lost. Got to rebuild all of it. But
and for you viewers, don't be confused about that scan. He wants to be able to see those interceptors flying over that ridge because you can constantly lose vision for any unit that disappears on the high ground. So that's what that scan is for, to allow that vision to maintain constant attack from the Goliaths on whatever they're focusing on.
And I like the way mine's going to have his first science vessel out. He's already re-added vultures back into his composition, so mine is doing like a lot of things right that he looks like he's already fixing from his previous game so far.
This is the best that Mine's army has looked pushing out from these bases, and there's nothing holding his army back this time.
Bisu's running into some serious mines here right now.
Once Mine makes
you're going to lose that carrier. You're going to lose that carrier. Is he going to get it? Oh, that one carrier goes down for Bisu. That's a huge loss for him.
Yeah, Bisu's in a really bad spot now. He's lost a ton to these mines. He just got parts of his army picked off.
Right.
Mind is looking a bit scary. Bisu's got like 6 goons and maybe another control group and a half at his natural.
Right, and that supply count is
And Mind is
terribly
hunting these
low.
carriers really aggressively all of a sudden, but he gets it.
He gets another character as well. Like, Mike actually just A moving to Bisu's natural. Bisu's not going to have that much to defend.
Bisu has about 8 units right now.
Right.
Not that are not
26
carriers.
supplied to 166.
Right,
Does Bisu have the macro to come back into this game? It's looking very, very scary for him right now. And another carrier is going to get focused down.
Right.
The range so strong here.
And
The range and Bisu is just throwing his carriers in the center into a wide open center,
right.
which doesn't work out. And now look at that stream for Mind. There's just like, there's a lot of shit. I think Bisu's gonna die.
Right. The problem is that Bisu has to sacrifice.
And I don't
some
even
of
see
his
High
carriers
Templar
for
here.
delaying this.
And now Mind is gonna be up on top of a ridge. Bisu's gonna lose at least 2 bases here unless he pulls a rabbit out of the hat and has Templar that I don't know about.
Oh, but the Zealots are going to run in here, try and do the damage
Oh,
that they can.
There's not even
absorb
carriers to
tank
soak up the
shots.
interceptor shots, so the Zealots are just gonna die instantaneously.
Right.
That was a suicide. Bisu, he might not even, wait to lose more bases before he taps out here. This is definitely going to be going to a game number 5,
Right.
barring any sort of,
Now the-
epic comeback.
The carriers are only now starting to come in, but like we said, like you already lost a Nexus off of this. Probably gonna lose that 4th as well at the 12 o'clock location.
And of course Mind is taking another base.
Well, this is what Bisu was doing before. He was sending some of his reinforcements to match the reinforcements of mine and try and slow those down while the carriers delayed at the front.
Right,
Actually, it looks like Mind is just going to go for the jugular. Templar out, but probably won't have energy. Oh, they actually do have energy. That's cool.
Ooh,
Decent storm going off right there.
but he's only
Not
gonna,
enough units clumped up, though.
right, he's only going to get 1 storm off, which is not going to be enough to stop this army at all.
But Mind's got so much. Mind's not even bothering to siege anymore.
Yeah.
He probably will once he's inside Bisu's natural. Oh, and more carriers getting hunted down.
Oh, he's going to
Ooh.
lose
Goes
one
down.
carrier
They
already.
lose
gonna
another
get-
set now.
No, he's not going to get a second one. But Bisu's about to lose his
So
natural right now.
Mind gets it right, and we will be going to a game 5. So
Nice.
I'm going to be right about 3-2. Now the only question is, will I be right about Bisu in 3-2?
Yes, this will definitely be an intense game number 5 here between these two players.
Well, Bisu does have Heartbreak Bridge for him, so he has that map advantage coming into the
All right,
final
here's the
map.
Panic DTs, but this is not 2012, and it's not Bisu versus Calm. So it's not going to win.
But this,
Yeah, I think even if Calm was playing Terran, he would be able to win the game at this point.
right. But the thing though, like we see in this game what happened when Mine actually fixes the mistakes that she was making against these carriers.
Oh, wow. A deep Matrix Goliath.
How did that make it up there?
Now, behind this, Mine took an additional base down at the bottom left, and he's not even bothering to send units to harass the mining bases of Bisu. And just now, he is going to go to the heart of Bisu, which is just going to be game-ending right here. I don't know if Bisu's taking the time to think about what the next game should be, what his game plan is, or if he really does think that he can come back. Maybe this is a tribute to Fantasy, his old friend.
This might be. Bisu's like, I will not die. I will survive.
He's like sitting there. Fantasy would be so proud of me right now.
It could also be the fact that Bisu's just trying to make Mind actually win the game outright, like kind of like trying to make Mind tire out.
GG.
Oh, there it is. GG.
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 Game number 5, folks. This is what the SSL 11 is all about.
So is El Master actually good, and he calls it 3-2 for Bisu? Or was it just a lucky guess, and it's going to be Mind that prevails in 3-2? This is like my reputation on the line now. I'm a little stressed about who wins this game.
Well, don't worry about your reputation, man. You're casting the guy who went 1-3 in the round of 8 for predictions.
You're like 1 in 20 for the
supposed to
tournament.
get predictions
No,
right.
I'm not. My liquid bet isn't that bad. But the thing to know is that. Yeah, go
Also,
ahead.
someone has been talking about your stream quality being not set to high.
Oh, that's because it lags.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm on vacation right now, so I don't have the best internet at this place.
Alright, I hear you.
So we're working with what we can.
Deal with it. If anybody remembers what Brood War streams were like 6 years ago,
Oh, they'd be on their knees right now praying.
yeah, they would be kissing your feet.
I predict... No, I don't.
No, well, let's just talk about this though. Like,
If it was high, yeah, I have a good prediction, but it's not high, yeah, it's fine.
the problem for mine here is that it took him 3 games to basically figure out how to deal with carriers the proper way. Like, he saw the first game happen at Heartbreak Bridge, like he was completely misplayed it. We see the exact same build coming in from Bisu and Mind on La Mancha, where Bisu does the same thing, like the same exact thing, but Mind still doesn't figure it out. But like, it took him 2 games to figure out how to deal with the carriers, and that's, I think, it's gonna be pretty huge because in this series, due to the map order. Like,
What is this shit? Is this League of Legends? What the fuck am I watching?
I think it is.
Yeah, just Pro League commercial.
Right, but like,
This game is so popular. I've never played it, but
Well,
I don't know. People really, really like it.
to answer XKCD, I think that I think that Mind showing that he's figured out Bisu in just a couple games,
right, but it
is
took him
actually showing his intelligence to evolve, and now we're looking at a ace match series here because he's able to read Bisu and understand what he's going for. What we really have to ask is, Bisu was only successful 2 out of 3 times with the same build. With a different build, he was unsuccessful.
So
does he even have anything else available to him to defeat Mind?
when we talk about Mind evolving, like what are we gonna see? Like, is it gonna be like a brain in a tube sitting at the PC next, or
Mind
like
is
what exactly
going to
does
look like
Mind
the brain
evolve to?
from Ninja Turtles?
How they would
He's the brain.
first he'd have to procure sweat next to him. Then he's going to evolve and start bringing rulers to him at the games.
You know, it's one of those things. Like, I know how Squirtle evolves into Wartortle and Blastoise. Like, I know what that looks like, but I'm not quite sure what a Mind evolution looks like.
But like, here's the thing though. Like, sure, we see that Mind finally figured out Bisu, but like, going for this level of preparation that we expected of Mind in like an earlier best of series for Mind, like the amount of preparation he had done, it shouldn't take him 3 games to figure out how to deal with carriers. Given that he's seen this all the time in Cuspa era, and he should know like earlier on how he should deal with his carriers.
You guys want to cast this and be like, fireball shit is going everywhere? And there's a bunch of dots on the screen and no one has a clue what's happening. Something is spinning around, there's blue lasers, now there's like green lasers, and like fire blast, and then there's a green stream of sludge, and now there's some guy with like a jetpack squirting around his jetpack.
And his skin is Buzz Lightyear, so he looks like Buzz Lightyear.
Right.
I went to the League of Legends tournament in Tallahassee. It was their mid-season invitational. It was pretty interesting.
Guys, we clearly have a future in LoL casting, judging from the comments.
Yeah.
We just got 10 out of 10 for that cast.
Right, hire us, please.
Well, what about the giant moth with wings?
I've honestly never played. I feel like that's what this commercial is centered on. I keep seeing this guy, this moth with wings and a little arrow. I feel like it's in the sky.
And then a guy who kind of looks like he's screaming like Terror Terran.
Like, I don't know what this moth dude is, or like what it's called, or what it does, but
Right.
I seem to like this guy.
It's Mothra.
I have no idea what's happening.
I almost want to win a tournament just so I could get that many hugs from that many dudes at one time.
You can always get a hug from me if you want.
Oh. Chicago hug.
Yeah.
I'll get shanked.
No, we wouldn't be. Depending on which side of Chicago you go to.
It's alright. The only other city that's death rate is nearly as bad as Chicago is Jacksonville. So we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. This is the Korean transporter. Do you guys see that there's a new transporter movie coming out? They found like the most serious looking dude and they said, don't say a single line, just do badass moves, and that's our movie.
Wait, someone said Bisu's gonna get cars. I didn't know you could type in how do I turn this on in StarCraft and have it give you a car.
What?
What?
You don't know how do I turn this on, or Big Daddy?
Yeah, there's no cheats. Alright. No cheats are allowed on LAN, okay? Just for the integrity of the game. But I'm not even. This 5th game can be. It could be anyone's game for this 5th game. Because it's going to be happening 2 things. First of all, now that mine kind of has the general idea of how to deal with carriers, what else does Bisu have in store? And the other question is, based on that, does Bisu have anything else in store? Was he thinking that his carrier play was going to beat out mine in like?
Right, and the majority of Protoss wins we've seen are all from proxies. So it seems like Protoss is a 2-trick pony on this map: proxy or carriers.
Right.
Which sounds awesome.
For you.
But for the viewers, I'm worried here. I don't think that Bisu will be taking Game 5. I know that people want to call this imbalance here, but I think when you're at the highest level of play, it's going to come down to who can pick the best build order and scout out as much as possible what's going to happen.
Right.
So
looks like we're getting back into the studio here. We're having the semifinal intro being played on the screen right now. Oh, I do note that the Hero's playing against 3 next week. Make sure
that should be next Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, I hope so.
And we don't have the map pool listed for that. We'll be receiving the map pool after this series. Yeah, so the series is going to be played on the 19th. Another best of 5. And a lot of people are thinking a really easy 3-0 for Hero. And yeah, he is the best ZVPer in the world. But I feel like Free's just a really smart player, and he might be able to put up a decent series. I don't think it will be just the easiest 3-0 for Hero.
That's possible.
Or do you just completely disagree?
Sorry, if mine wins here, I think I'm ready to crown him SSL champion. And if mine doesn't win here, I think Hero is gonna still have a tough fight.
I think Free, if he can advance, is the best chance to defeat mine.
Well, Free's not gonna beat Hero though. Sorry, I'm ready to. If Hero wins this next game, I will give Mind. I would put down like $100 on Mind winning the SSL.
Oh, you're gonna do a betting thread now?
I'm very confident my Hero will beat Free, and I'm very confident Mind will beat Hero.
I don't know.
I'm pretty confident. I have to side with Eric here on that. That's my thoughts on the matter as well.
I honestly think the most exciting matchup would be Hero versus Mind, just because of how good Hero's shown his ZVT, and if he can somehow pull like an effort level upset the same way he did against Flash, then it could be an incredible finals.
Right, but Hero's going to need to figure out a way to deal with Mind's aggressive TVZ playstyle then. And that's one of the issues that Hero has. It's because he's such a great management Zerg for the late game. Getting there is the hard part, though.
Right. But he has amazing lane control and great APM, so I think he can utilize that to his advantage and just...
Yeah, but if APM is all you need, then I'd be an A- Zerg. It's true.
EAPM.
I'd still be an A-.
high EAPM.
That is true. The difference between them...
Goliath! Kill the carrier!
Carrier.
That's pretty close to Ribu.
Right.
Ooh, that was good. You gotta go in faster, you know?
Immortal! Just kidding. StarCraft.
Wrong game! Get out of here! I'm gonna kick you from the Skype call in 5 seconds.
Hacksaw.
It's like
Scan. It's like Scan. When Scan plays Brood War, sometimes he has SC2 sounds on his Brood War unit, so I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Who does?
Scan.
Oh.
Does he really?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
That is so... Why would you do that? I play StarCraft 2, alright? And the Brood War music is so much better.
Oh, yeah.
And not even me being
added the Brood War music to StarCraft 2 because they realized they screwed that up.
Yeah. Why change what's working?
Right.
So I have a question: is there anything more fun than cycling uphill, except possibly watching Bisu and Effort play StarCraft? I can't think of anything.
How about cycling uphill in the Tour de France?
That might be more fun, but that might be kind of annoying if you get urine thrown in your face.
I think Bisu winning an OSL would be the greatest thing of all time.
I think
Not happening.
Greatest thing
Dude,
of all
thanks,
time.
Casey. The curse is alive. So I'm not even stressing about this game 5 because we all know that the curse is real. So
Well, he still
why
has...
even bother casting this series? Let's just call it mine versus the winner of the other series.
So mine versus Hero. Mine takes it. 3-0.
I'm hoping Free upsets Hero and just ruins everybody's Liquibet. I want to see like the one person who voted for Free in Liquibet.
Can you see like the actual Team Liquid accounts that vote for each player, or just like you just only see the graph?
You know, with my admin rights, I might be able to see more now. So I'll have to check that out.
That's a very interesting question.
Track people down, be like, seriously? What kind of match fixing bullshit did you get into?
Guys, it's game
Alright, Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. On Heartbreak Ridge, once again, the countdown just finished. We're now loading up into the map.
I feel like my subconscious just whispered Game 5 to me.
Spawning in the same places as Game 1, we have Bisu on the left side, still playing Protoss. No last-minute race changes.
And he's still red.
On the right side, still playing Terran. Not electing to switch to Zerg, surprisingly, is mined as the blue Terran.
You're cracking me up with the
No, but-
spawning at the same place as game number 1.
No, but here's the thing. Mine changed his color. He's blue instead of
I
green.
know, he has hacks.
Guys, Bisu has sent out his probe. There's no
fuck.
pylon yet.
Gas steal again.
Wait, did he build a? He didn't build a pylon though, did he?
Actually, he may build a pylon because his probe stopped. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
gonna
he made a pylon. It's gonna be a
but
proxy
where's the
gateway.
scout gonna go.
So this
I
is
told
this,
you.
this
There's either
is
proxy or carrier. That's the only build that Protoss know on this map.
he's gonna proxy carriers right from the start, all in the same place. Gateway, core, Stargate, Fleet Beacon, all in the
Hey,
same spot.
Jay Hoon did that.
You can do that shit.
That was
legit.
Avalon, okay? That wasn't really a proxy. That was more like he didn't know what he was doing, so he threw everything at once.
Now, which way does it mine? No, is
Oh, and mine's gonna scout the wrong way. Oh, he sees the
Oh,
bro!
the probe.
He's gonna see it. He's gonna see it. He's gonna see it. No, no, no! Go, go, go! Yes, he sees it! Yes!
Oh no! He's gotta block the gas. Bisu, is he gonna block the gas too?
Beast doesn't have to block.
Mine is gonna go kill it. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, mine sent out. He needs to send out one more SCV.
Normally you need about 5, but he's gonna be here a little bit late, so he probably needs 6 or 7 SCVs to bring this
But
down.
BC already pulling probes off the line. BC going all in on this? He's pulling probes off the line.
This is gonna get ridiculous.
Oh my god.
He sent 3
This
probes.
is intense for both players because you gotta remember this is for all the marbles. But I think Bisu's gonna get his gateway up because his probes are gonna get there faster, and I think this is gonna be actually this is really close.
Oh, this is getting so close.
Oh my goodness. BC gonna kill off 1 probe,
Oh,
2
this
probes,
is
2 SCVs go down.
now.
But will the gateway be finished?
This
Dead,
is
it's dead.
unprecedented.
It's dead. Where's the zealot? The zealot not coming out. Oh, the zealot makes it out just in time.
It's taking out the zealot out.
Does he have the gateway? That's pretty, or the barracks? That's pretty important. No, oh man, that's gonna be
Oh
annoying.
my goodness. Barracks only halfway,
wow.
just now
They're
completed.
so late. Look at this timing.
Mine is like that's kind of bullshit.
Oh my god.
Wow. Just like
So Bisu is gonna want to target down that SCV, making the barracks. Oh, this surround.
Yeah, control is. But Bisu doesn't have a gateway, so this is pretty shitty for Bisu. Even though this zealot is gonna be a total asshole.
Right,
Well,
but-
Bisu did have a second pylon in his main during all this, so he was able to build a second gateway.
Oh, nice mark over his mind there. You're gonna save that SCV, but he does lose 2 SCVs at the same time. But the barrack does
Well,
finish.
Rank will be out soon, and is he going to try and bunker up at the same time too? Oh, he might get the zealot. He might get the zealot here.
Or even better, the probe.
I am not impressed with Mine's SCV pulling right now. He's taking an awful lot of damage from the zealot.
Wow, this glitching here.
Oh
still
my
keeps
goodness,
all
the zealot still
alive.
lives somehow. What?
How did that zealot make it out alive?
4 kills, 4 SCV kills on a zealot already, but the marine's already out for now. They should be able to clean up this zealot immediately. But at what cost, though?
Right. What is the damage? It's kind of hard to gauge where both players are because losing that gateway was pretty huge. But Bisu, he's gonna go straight up to getting his core and go into goons here.
But think of like how much ahead mine would have been had he got that gateway off before the first zealot popped out.
Yeah, that would.
Bisu is ahead in E. This is actually pretty close game. Bisu's definitely got economic advantage though.
Yeah, Bisu has a 5 supply ahead, but there's already 2
So
Marines.
that economic advantage is going to probably be a big deal, but we'll see.
Yeah, another zealot already out for Bisu, but 3 Marines out for mine, and mine should have enough Michael to be able to deal with this handily.
Mine looks like he's sending a unit over, whether it be an SCV or a Marine.
It's going to be an SCV. No reason to send a Marine by itself. We need to make sure you need to conserve your Marine count.
Yeah.
But will the Marine get that pylon before the zealot arrive? That's the other important question.
I am disappointed though.
Oh, it looks like it does clean up.
I'm disappointed in Mind because he took an awful lot of damage from that zealot. His pulling was not that crisp, so he lost, 5 SCVs that he didn't have to lose.
Blame the operating system.
Now this is one zealot should be pretty routine to deal with. Bisu's got another probe on the lower side of the map. I think he's going to proxy like
Is
a
he going to
robo or
lose
something.
his zealot though?
Oh, you get mine
here.
losing a Marine for nothing. That's not good.
He's going to proxy something over here, I think. Yeah, I think so.
There's a pylon.
Oh, so probably going to go straight to reverse.
No, I don't think it's even a reverse. She could be like an anti-dropship.
Oh, actually,
pylon.
this pressure it looks scary. There's already a goon on the way, plus another zealot with and he stopped Marine production. This is going to be very bad. Bisu, I think Bisu 3-2 before the macro advantage even really shows its cards.
We shall see here. It's still a tense moment. Getting that factory down. He's going to wait until he has siege mode to try and expand here. And this Dragoon is going to be really...
Oh, what is Bisu doing? He's going to move the Dragoons right out of the zealot support of it. Taking way too much damage from the Marines.
Does keep it alive here, and he's going in to push these units. But what he does is he wants to keep the Marine count low.
That was pretty sloppy from Bisu there, actually.
Oh, is he going to trap it?
Oh my god, he got a block with the SCV! Nice SCV block!
Oh my goodness, he gets it out! How does he get the Dragoon out? Insane.
Doesn't get the kill.
But Bisu already lost 2 zealots for the 3 Marine. That's not really that great for either players, though. But Bisu already has his next natural Nessie coming up, and he has the robotics facility coming down at the same time.
Bisu's trying to keep the Marine count low in case he does go for that proxy.
CV's going to find that pylon, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Tank out, so we're going to get the Dragoons chased away.
Oh, nice! Nice. Mine's going to target on the damaged Dragoon there, but mine needs to make sure he can't lose any more Marines. Another Dragoon does join the fray here. Mine's being very aggressive with
Generally,
the
you want 3 Dragoons to combat something like this, but I guess he is doing a decent micro so far with just the 2 Dragoons. Trying to make sure the one with the higher health is the one getting targeted.
It's so close to dead, too. Bisu's going to save it.
Yeah.
We're seeing Bisu's exceptional Michael come into play here. Mine's going to get his own
players,
command
though,
center down.
are doing their best to try and focus down and get the attention towards the right unit here. But Bisu will have the advantage of mining from that natural quicker.
And we're seeing
this is going to turn into a macro game, or is Bisu going to continue to have applied harassment?
And we're seeing mine send another SCV to check on that pylon, see if it's a proxy or not. But I think what Bisu did with that pylon is basically allow it just to be a... We're going to see a replay here, actually. Never mind.
How did that pop out in time?
It did.
That is the most clutch thing ever.
Look at Mine's reaction. He's just like, come on.
Bullshit.
Are you freaking kidding me?
If he had just sacrificed one more SCV, he could have had it too.
Yep.
If he just brought like
But
a 7...
there's the old saying about hindsight.
Right. It sucks.
First observer now out for Bisu.
Carriers from this build too.
Right. You got the very early observatory out. It's got the first observer out. Mine once again going for the early armory once again. Looks like he's gonna go.
I mean,
armory. That makes me
based
think
on game time, it's not early, but based on his build, this is a very early armory.
Right. And I think we're gonna see mine once again go for that very early 2-1 timing attack, like we've shown in the last every macro game we've seen so far in this series. The question is, though, will Bisu once again go for carriers and be able to deflect this properly?
Preach from chat is saying that mine was saying "Hi, Mom" in that GIF.
What does that mean?
You know, in his reaction where to the gateway.
But what's the translation for that in English? Is it like a curse word we're not supposed to say on stream?
Probably that.
Huh.
It's always funny when you hear like sideline football coaches and there's a camera nearby them on live TV and you hear them start cursing and they have to switch over to something else real fast.
Yeah. But don't like live TV have like a 5-second delay anyways to preemptively catch that?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go Templar Tech for BC, so we're just gonna go Arbiters. Good chance Mind is just gonna get like Mac rolled.
BC already starting to wall off his third with Pylon. No, I take that back. That was just more chickens there. But he's going to take his third base here.
Wow, look at that supply difference. 74 supply to 44. Now we're seeing how that early advantage, no matter how small it seemed to look, just kind of steamrolls. It gathers moss as it goes down the hill.
Right.
And Bisu is looking like he has a much stronger advantage right now inside of this game. He can easily take the third, and if he be so bold, fourth.
Bisu can take the third, take the fourth, and tech, and still be fine.
Oh, you're going to go
Mind
for...
has like 4 units and 2 factories.
It looks like BC going to go for Arbiters this time. A little bit slow.
Oh! What an Arbiter. Oh, what a... No, we're talking about Arbiter, sorry. What a Spider-Man pick-off there.
Actually does hit one of those Dragoons, actually. Doesn't hit the second one, interestingly enough. And we're going to see Mind sending the SCV to his own third to take it at the same time as well. And he's shooting out his own mines just to be a little bit safe from any Zealot bombs.
Yeah, this is the really sucky thing for Mind, is that he knows that he has to continue to expand and meet these certain timings, or else he'll fall behind. But he doesn't know if there's a timing that Bisu has that could, you know, cut him at the knees.
Right. And what Mind needs to actually is scan, once he gets his scan up and going, he needs to scan the main base of BC right now, because he's still making a lot of Goliaths, but he doesn't need at all. He's still probably expecting it's going to be carriers once again, but you don't need
Yeah, but Bisu's just going to have so many units, and he's going to have really nice quick Arbiters too, so there's just going to be so many options. Recall, big army threats, that Mind is going to have a terribly difficult time defending and cleanly getting to where he can make a large max push. I mean, if he can get to 200 on 3 bases and roll out, you know, he'll be behind. Bisu will probably have the whole map, but he'll have a chance.
Oh,
but
right.
Getting to that point is going to be really difficult, I think. I don't think Bisu's just going to sit and wait for Mind to get to 200.
no.
I mean, you can see Bisu's already going to be on like 9 gateways and Arbiter. He might even just go for a stasis timing and just
that is
roll through him on the ridge. Because I bet you by the time this is all said and done, Bisu's going to have 60, 70 supply advantage by the time they both macroed up.
Right.
I don't even see it as a choice that Bisu should go for stasis first. Recall play isn't necessary for him to, you know, maintain his lead.
Right.
He should just go straight for stasis with his Arbiters and immobilize the already immobile mech army.
Right. Third command center now just being plotted down for Mind.
Mine needs to go like full flash style and just fucking put up a complete depot wall on one side, defend the top, and then try to defend against the recalls.
Well, interesting that you mentioned that. I've been watching the supply counter for Mine, and he's really been playing depot to depot, where he doesn't build additional supply depots unless he absolutely needs to, you know, get that supply, because he's trying to manage his economy so strictly. And now this is the first time
he's
now
just gonna
that
fuck
he
him
has
over with
quite
recalls.
a few supplies ahead
He's just gonna kill him with recalls.
Mm-hmm. So that is a possibility if he does go for the recalls. Puts in the main base. There's not
Because
a lot of
the thing is,
there.
Mind is so behind that if he didn't recalls, if he just like recalls into the mineral lines, enough SCVs are gonna die that Mind will never get anywhere. Even if like the recall does nothing other than killing some SCVs, it's still gonna work out because Bisu's macro is gonna be off the charts. I mean, he's got 5 bases already, and he's still.
And he's taking the bottom right.
I mean, it's really over. Like Bisu needs like 2 recalls to disappear from the map.
It's kind of crazy how this.
Like imagine or it might just go kill him because he's so far ahead.
Oh, looks like BC is going to go for the just kill him option. He's going to start pushing into the ridge here.
He's got 10 gateways too. Is there even a stasis? I don't even know if there is. I don't think he needs
these zealots are getting on the high ground pretty easily. Not enough tanks to ward off this army here.
Sorry, Mind.
4 supply to 80 supply so far right now. Mind is looking really upset. knowing that there's a possibility that this series has been completely lost at this point.
So Bisu versus Hero. Well, should be a good finals.
No, the possibility of a PvP is
GG.
real. Bisu advances to the finals. He does it.
Wow.
This is his last tournament before he goes to the military, and he is fighting to make it his most glorious.
What a series. What a series.
Now the question is, how does the game change if mine pulls one more SCV off the line?
Or if he doesn't try and micro his SCVs as efficiently as he did.
That's where you get so depressed if you like second guess yourself and you're just like, why? Why did I do that?
Right.
But you can't, you know. I mean, who expects Bisu to pull 4 or 5 SCVs or probes off the line? And like that doesn't happen very often.
That just shows the level of commitment Bisu had to making sure his first Zealot came out in time.
I'm going to screenshot this chat right now because it looks beautiful.
420 blaze it.
Bisu, Bisu, Bisu.
Brosu.
Okay, so guys, after next Wednesday, we'll be casting a PvP finals where Bisu has the highest win rate of any Protoss player ever and is the best PvPer of all time, according to his SOSPA stats.
And it's going to be under the road for Mind here. So a very, very good run in the SSL, making it to the round of 4.
Yeah,
But only
I mean, people question how good he was because he was in the KSL while the last SSL was running. So he didn't get to play against a complete pool of talent. So coming into the semifinals, I think it speaks volumes for how good he is. And it still cements him as the best Terran player.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's on the top of the heap as far as Terrans go. I'm trying to think of who else, but
Oh
everyone
man,
else
that beast
fallen off.
face
C's
is-
fallen off. Haya's kind of fallen off. And yeah, it's going to be a ZVP finals. There's no way Free beats Hero. In fact, if Free wins one game, I will be pretty surprised.
Wow, that's pretty. It's a very bold statement coming in here from Elmaster.
I
So
think there's gonna be at
Free
least
has
a
some
proxy.
beautiful PVT, but against someone with as good of ZVP
Oh my god.
as Hero,
Hold on, let's watch this here. Just one more time. You see that one? Dude, he
Oh,
pulls
why did he
two
pull that
SCVs.
SCV off? He didn't have to.
You see, he pulled 2 SCVs. If he had just left that one,
or just brought one extra.
But why would you bring an extra though? Like, there's no
And
way
what-
you would expect Bisu to pull 3 additional probes off his own line. It's like a once in a lifetime kind of thing. What just happened?
right? Oh man, you know, this is like this level of luck and stuff. It just brings me back to that Bisu versus Flash in the finals, where he got really lucky and
The one where like Flash killed off his core and then Bisu just still won with like Zealots. or
ran him
something.
over with zealots.
Yeah,
It was-
because Flash had no vultures. He overcommitted the tanks.
right.
I couldn't believe that was happening when I was watching it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
No, the one I couldn't believe was happening when I watched it was Effort.
Oh, that one too.
I mean, you know, I literally, you know, because I had a bunch of people over, but you know, it's 2:00. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'd been up late the night before, so I had like, you know, Flash goes up like 2:00, and I'm kind of like nodding off, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden I wake up, sort of, and focus in the 4th game, and it's like Effort winning. All of a sudden I'm like, what the dude, what the fuck? And then I was like,
It's happening.
tweaking level alert.
Right.
So last game I was like, no, this is not, no, this can't be. What?
I was the exact same way. I was like, this is another rollover by Flash.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, that's definitely, I think, the #1 upset in all-time Brood War history for that to happen. I mean, maybe if you go back to stuff from like pre-2006, 2007, but I don't.
It's
that was a
definitely in the
pretty
top.
ridiculous
It's
upset.
in the top 3.
There may have been bigger single-game upsets, but in the context of what happened there, I would consider that the biggest upset in
Right.
history. We don't need Jidong, we have Effort. We do need Sulky, though.
Alright, if Sulky comes back, Zero becomes #1 Zarek, only because he just can't lose to Sulky. That's how it works. There's a system.
Sulky will refresh everyone's memory on how to beat mech switches and mech play.
Zero actually has been showing very impressive.
Zero played pretty damn good against ZVT.
Yeah.
You gotta watch his games. They were sick. Zero versus Last is one of the craziest games.
It is. Like, Zero still knows how to deal with mech switches. He still knows the best way to do it is with 20 queens.
Actually, yeah. Carmine Dust makes a good point. Bisu versus Savior was a pretty ridiculous upset too, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying not to say that as a Bisu fanboy, that I thought that one was pretty significant.
Yeah, that one. I mean, effort coming back from 2-0 slightly changes the dynamic, but also to come out and just 3-0 Savior, yeah, that's
definitely the greatest comeback, I would say.
Biggest upset in a single game? I don't know. Maybe biggest comeback.
Flash
maybe
versus Stardust.
No,
Flash versus Stardust.
I don't know that one.
Where Stardust builds 3 gateways and a robotic facility in the middle of the map, and then just Reaver drops him to death. That happened. Look it up. I can't lie about that. The other one would be Flash versus Deer on Ground Zero.
Or Flash versus Fantasy. That was quite a comeback.
Well, I thought we were talking finals only.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I was including Pro League games as well.
No, we got to keep it restricted. Otherwise, we could just discuss this all night. Well, thank you guys who are leaving right now. XKCD, L Master, myself, Bisu Dagger, are all very appreciative for you guys hanging out for the semifinals. But come back next Wednesday.
Yep.
There's another series, Hero versus Free, and we'll be watching that best of 5. And the map pool will be released after this interview.
You're talking like we're going off air. We're not going to sit here and converse about StarCraft for like the next 9 hours.
Well,
I mean,
it's not like anybody has like anything they have to do, right?
It's only just past midnight for you, bro.
Sleep. Nobody needs that, right? That's you don't need that.
We don't all have bicyclist energy like you.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. If you do enough riding, you can get to the point where literally you can't make yourself tired unless you just go out and ride bikes for like hours at a time.
Right.
But it's kind of funny because you're always tired, and yet you can't get tired unless you like ride a ton of bikes.
Well, me and Bisu Dagger are software developers, so we're a strange species.
Yes, we are.
You guys don't have enough passion to sit here and talk for like 10 hours. I'm sorry. Not everybody can have El Master level Brood War passion.
And trust me, the talking doesn't stop. My fiance tells me every morning that I just talked all night in my sleep.
Wait, your fiance talks to you about Brood War? That's kind of cool.
No, she's forced to listen. I don't let her. There's no conversationing. It's listen to my passion.
She doesn't chime in, and you guys don't get in like heated arguments about whether like Bisu or Jaedong is cooler.
No, because she gets it. There's no argument when Bisu is #1 in everything, and she understands.
Oh boy.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
Is Hero versus Free after? I mean, yes, it is after a time period later than now, but it's not coming up in like 10 minutes. No, it's coming up. I don't know when is it coming up. A few days or next Wednesday?
Next week, the 19th.
You have to wait an entire week.
Right. Okay. I'll admit something to you guys. My fiance and I argued over Bisu's looks because I called him stunningly handsome, and she called him not so stunningly handsome.
The good news is this means you're safe if you ever travel to Korea to see Bisu. You don't have to worry about anything happening.
Are you kidding? It would be so cool if she slept with him.
Okay, you guys have heard it. This guy is obviously a true fanboy.
Listen,
can say
if that's what it takes to give me a little Korean StarCraft baby, I'll take it.
Hey,
that's how you know a devoted fan right there. You guys have heard it. There's end of discussion. You can't beat that level of fanboyism.
Well, I just want to close. The closing arguments on this whole entire tournament is Bisu has never lost to a non-Terran in a finals. And it looks like there will not be a Terran in the finals.
But the other question is it still an OSL?
Yes. So is the curse still alive?
Well, the curse just a fantasy. That's actually a huge crowd.
It is awesome. This is an amazing crowd. I'm so happy right now.
Yep. Me too, man.
I got that Walking on Sunshine song playing in my head.
Guys, do you know that if you play Protoss, you will find that to build a gateway, you must first build a pylon?
Oh, snap.
It's so unfair, because Terrence can just build a barracks right away.
Who made that quote? That was a rough quote, that wasn't quite verbatim, but who made that quote?
I have to guess Artosis.
No.
Tasteless.
No.
Ooh.
Let's see if chat knows. Who made that quote?
You did! Because you just said it.
No. No, it was someone notable.
Cholera? Nuke the stars?
I'm waiting to see if anyone in chat knows first.
Idra.
Not Idra.
It's always Idra.
Steve Man!
No.
Sale just woke up. Like, Sale's eyes just went wide open.
What if I
He's checking his closet for Steve Man right now.
What if I said... The quote is that you will find that to build a gateway, you must first build a pylon. That's not quite verbatim, but it's very close to that. The hint, and this is probably a ridiculous hint, so I don't know if I should give it, but it's all I can think of. The hint is arbiters.
Jinro.
Okay, I know. Noni.
There we go. Except it's Noonie.
Noonie, Noni, Tyler, whatever. Same person!
Liquid Tyler.
Yeah, I'm surprised not enough people have seen that video. You have to have seen that video. That video is amazing.
Alright, guys. Well, I'm going to call it a day. I'm super excited. Going to go home with a smile on my face, or go to sleep with a smile on my face, so... Thank you all for listening.
It's like, this is substance abuse, newbie abuse. And it's like super stoned high voice.